I am buzzing. Haven't had a sip of alcohol this weekend.
That's a lie. Have you?
I haven't. Ask Jake. We did sober golf all weekend.
Well, I always do sober. Yeah.
Wait, but you didn't drink Friday or Saturday night?
Friday, but that's a weekday. Friday's a weekday.
On today's Pardon My Take, we have an awesome interview with Howie Long, the legend, Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame football player, Hall of Fame broadcaster, Hall of Fame movie star, Hall of Fame dad, Hall of Fame all across the board. Hall of Fame man. Awesome interview. Told us some incredible stories. We are going to do the Mount Rushmore of fictional animals. This is the last week of Mount Rushmores. It's coming down to it. It's going to be intense. We're going to talk some football because it is back again. And we got Who's Back. So great show for everyone. And before we get to that, listen up. AWL's Paramount Plus. It's football season. You got to get your streaming in order. Paramount Plus is once again your home to stream the NFL on CBS all year long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL right now to get an exclusive offer for Pardon My Take fans. 50% off the annual price for a whole year of Paramount Plus. That's just $2.50 a month to stream all the best games and craziest moments from every single live local NFL on CBS game this season. This is an incredible deal that you need to act on right now. We're giving it to you, $2.50 a month. Paramount Plus, you need it for football season. It includes the regular season through the playoffs. And remember, this year, Paramount Plus is your streaming destination for Super Bowl 58 as well. So Paramount Plus also gets you an all-access pass to 24/7 NFL content all week long with CBS Sports HQ, Fantasy Football Today, NFL Slime Time, and more, all for just $2.50 a month. So add it all up. And it's Hot Seat Corporate America, cool throne, NFL fans, and your wallets. Stream Paramount Plus on any device at home or on the go and catch another action-packed, unpredictable season of the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus. Sign up at ParamountPlus.com/NFL for 50% off today. Offer ends 9/20, annual plan only. Terms and conditions apply. Act now. Paramount Plus is the place to be. You need Paramount Plus. You need to get your streaming in order. Paramount Plus has all the NFL action and the Super Bowl this year. So make sure you sign up right now. Paramount Plus on any device at home or on the go and catch another action-packed, unpredictable season of the NFL on CBS, streaming on Paramount Plus. Sign up at ParamountPlus.com/NFL for 50% off today. ParamountPlus.com/NFL for 50% off today. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Pardon My Take. Today is Monday, August 28th. Hank, say it. Say it.
Summer's over.
Nope, football's back. Real football. We watch real football. And guess what? There's no better way to kill your football buzz than having Jason Garrett call the game.
Yeah, it's true. He doesn't have the energy that you need. You need Michael Irvin calling the first game of every season.
Yeah.
Not Jason Garrett, who would put himself to sleep talking.
It really felt like week 0 in Dublin. Yeah. It was like all jacked up, ready to go. College football's back. I know it was week 0. I know there's only like 7 games. They all mean something to me. And then Jason Garrett was on there, and I immediately fell in a nap in the second quarter.
I'd rather hear Al Gore commentate a football game than Jason Garrett.
But it's back.
Tough. It is back.
Sam Hartman looks great.
Did you see how green the grass was in Ireland?
It looked awesome.
That's all I wanted to see. Check that off the list. It was not much of a game.
It was watching Notre Dame, Hawaii being pesky, covering the spread, and then in fitting fashion, USC and the returning Heisman Caleb Williams, who will probably be the number 1 pick in the draft, and no one in America could watch it because it was Pac-12 Network.
Yep.
I was watching it on a stream on my phone that was giving me all the viruses. That could not have been the better way to tip off the last Pac-12 season opener, to be like, hey, this is why we're dying? Yeah, because we can't watch fucking Caleb Williams play football.
Well, you remember when Oklahoma played against Army a few years ago? In that was awesome game. You couldn't find it. You had to go like deep into the dark web.
Some
to find
guy
it.
like streamed it.
The foot.
Yeah, it was a guy streaming it, and then the chat that was popping off to the side. I love those chats.
Yes, that was actually though
that was
by design. Oklahoma did a pay-per-view. which was smart. They just raised a bunch of money. But yeah, football's back.
It's
it felt
officially
good.
back. It's good to have games that mean something besides obviously the Commanders-Ravens game, which was the most important preseason game of all time. I'm looking forward to this weekend though.
Yeah, week
so
one.
Can I run through some of the games that we have? You tell me how excited you are on the ball scale.
Okay.
For the following games coming up. Virginia at Tennessee.
Yeah, sure. That's a fucking whomping. Yeah.
Maybe like 2 balls.
That's a 2 balls.
2 balls. Ohio State at Indiana.
That's a 2.5 balls. That's a whomping.
That's going to be a whomping. We've got West Virginia at Penn State.
Yeah, that's a 4.5 balls.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Now the 5 balls.
Yeah.
LSU, Florida State.
That's a 5
balls.
Yeah.
6 balls even.
What about Utah, Florida?
Utah, Florida. Yeah,
that's a 5 balls.
That's another 5 balls.
Graham
right
Mertz.
UMass Auburn.
UMass won outright.
There. Sure.
They looked fucking good.
I might do it again.
You know what I'm really looking forward to? Friday night, Saturday morning, whenever they put out the graphic of how to watch every game, what channel it's going to be on.
Yeah.
It's like it's the college football equivalent of when golf posts where the hole's going to be.
That's Trig, right?
Yeah,
Triggs. Yeah, he does a great job with that. I'm just excited for meaningful football.
Yeah, it's great. In college football, I like how they set it up that college football gets. I wish week 0, like everyone should play week 0. They should just move the season forward or back, I guess it would be. A whole week where it should just be week 0 should be all the games because it's nice to have college football get the spotlight for a couple weekends.
Wouldn't that be week 1?
No, then you'd have week -1.
No, it'd be week 0, but everyone plays, and then week 1. What don't you understand? Why does only 7 games played on week 0? Why can't everyone play on week 0?
But I think what Hank's wondering is like, what do you do with the week 0 games then? You move those a week earlier too.
No, you could just have everyone play on week 0.
But then you move all the other games.
2 games week -1.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
What if you just do all the cupcakes on week 0, so every team's still playing, and you still get a lot of games?
I don't care. I just want all the games right now.
Oh.
That's really what I'm looking for. That's what I want. We also have the Battle of Miami. Blaine Gabbert's brother, who plays for Miami of Ohio, said we're the real Miami. They're playing Miami. I like that.
Is
Talk
the U
your
back?
shit. Talk your shit.
Yeah, I like it too. They intentionally did that. They were like, it'd be fun if Miami played against Miami,
Yeah,
right?
Miami
It's like the
versus
Giants get together with the Giants in the offseason, have a barbecue.
Yeah.
First time you'll hear this. I think Miami's going to win.
Oh, God.
I like Miami, Jake. I'm taking Miami.
R.I.P. Bob Barker, because I really want to do a bump, bump, ba-dum.
Yeah.
My 100% lock. I will cut off a testicle if Miami doesn't win that game.
There you go. There you go. By the way, R.I.P. Bob Barker, the GOAT.
Yeah.
I'm sad. I thought he was just never gonna die because it felt like he trended like 3 times a year, and I always was ready for him to die. And I was like, oh wait, he survived. Then he actually did die, and he is, in my mind, the GOAT game show host.
Yeah, I mean,
I know Trebek. Trebek's great.
It was the GOAT game show,
Right.
and he was the host for so long.
He was
on
the
Price is
perfect
Right.
host for it. Just like the perfect amount of kind of horny, made sure that everyone got their pets spayed and neutered, would get a little pissed off when people were dumb. He just was the best. He was the best. He was all class. You felt like he was built in like a Hollywood, like a 1950s Hollywood lab.
Mm-hmm.
Just everything about him. He was perfect. I love Bob Barker.
Did you know that he was born on an Indian reservation? He was a
did,
member of the
yes.
Sioux tribe?
Yes.
I didn't know that until after he passed away.
Yes.
And this was a death that most people were probably prepared for because the second that it happened,
Well, he got the vaccine.
so
that's probably why.
So did the head of Wagner, who died mysteriously in Russia in an airplane. He was vaxxed. He was vaxxed. Look into it.
I've seen that movie.
Batman? How did Bob Barker
First
die?
scene
Did they ever
of
say?
the Bane one.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is the first scene. How did Bob Barker die? Did they say?
I think, just old.
Oh, okay.
Just of being Bob Barker.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he was like 90.
90, he was
causes.
99 and a half.
99 and a half. That's,
Yeah, you
that's
hear this
tough.
one? Did you see this one? Did you hear this one? Bob Barker lived as close to 100 without going over.
That's a good
I like
one.
that one a lot.
Yeah, that was that. It's great because there was one guy who was very smart and actually tweeted that, and then I just saw that tweet 7,000 times by other people.
That would be so deflating. Like when you're 99 and a half, all you got to do, you just got to live to be 100.
Yeah, he lived
I would just
an awesome life.
I would
though.
tell people don't publicize my death until it's. I want people to think I died on my 100th birthday.
Yeah.
But yeah, R.I.P. Bob Barker, one of the goats.
Yeah, he really was one of the GOATs. The other big news from this weekend, besides college football being back and Bob Barker passing away, was Trey Lance getting traded.
Mm-hmm. He's a
And
cowboy.
Trey Lance, I don't know. I think it's weird because I think John Lynch is such a good GM. That's why he doesn't get criticized because find another team that trades 3 first-round picks and misses that badly on a quarterback and still is potentially a Super Bowl team. Like, he's built such a great team that he could do that, but that has to be one of the worst bust/trades in NFL history.
I absolutely loved RG3 weighing in, being like, and now it's official. Trey Lance, by giving up 3 first-round picks to trade up and take this quarterback, it's the worst draft bust of all time. It's so funny hearing that from RG3, like, because the trade is almost exactly the same as what the Redskins gave up with the Rams to move up and take RG3. Obviously, like, injuries, it's a little bit different. Although I guess Trey Lance has been injured too.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to have a strong take about John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. I think they should be fired, Big Cat.
I think they should be fired.
And then I think that they should be picked up by the Washington Commanders. That's what I think.
I guess it's a combo of John Lynch being so good at other parts of his job, drafting other players, and maybe a little bit of Zach Wilson going before him.
Yeah, takes a little bit of the sting off.
But it is such a bad trade. And then the guys that the Dolphins used for those picks, Jalen Waddle is who they drafted. They used one of them to trade for Tyreek Hill and used one of them to trade for Bradley Chubb. Pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good haul.
All for Trey Lance.
Got a good haul for that. But yeah, if you look at how they managed to carry on with Brock Purdy, they also drafted Brock Purdy. Now, he was Mr. Irrelevant, so it was like every team, including the Niners, passed on Brock Purdy a lot.
They should have drafted Brock Purdy number 3.
They should have. It's actually in a weird way, it's a credit to Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch overall that they were able to miss on this, and they can get a quarterback that's not as highly touted who fits in their system.
Yeah.
So I'm very much looking forward to, though, the first terrible interception Dak Prescott throws.
Yes.
I will be clamoring. I will be standing on the table for Trey Lance.
Which will be exactly 2 weeks from right now as we're sitting here.
I can't wait. The first Dak interception of the season is going to hit so different.
Just show Trey Lance on the sideline and be like, well, they did bring in Trey Lance.
Oh, yeah. The camera's going to be right on him after that first interception.
One more thing about, I forgot, college football. The new rule about first downs sucks. The fact that they keep the running clock sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's stupid. It sucks. Small sample size, very small sample size, but the average amount of plays per game last year were 68.7. Obviously, that's a very large sample size. 3 hours and 27 minutes. Yesterday, it was 63 plays a game, so about 5 plays less, and they shaved 3 minutes off the game.
Well, also,
so they just added more commercials. It sucks. They're ruining college football.
Well, also, it was a Navy game. And they run the ball quite a bit.
Yeah, but they didn't have the ball that much. They fucking suck.
Yeah, it was bad. It was an ugly game.
I just hate that rule.
It was still football. Yeah, and what I like about the college football rules being different from the NFL is you can watch it with casuals and then point out to them, actually, the clock stops on a first down until they get up to it.
I hope they just change it back.
Did they change it for the end of a game?
No, they changed it because games were going too long. Oh, no. Like it does stop.
Yeah, at the end of the game.
Which is a rule that the NFL should adopt because
Yes.
it would make games more exciting at the end. But yeah, they made it so that the games wouldn't last as long. They shaved 3 minutes. Again, small sample size, but they just jam more commercials in there.
Yeah, it's tough. Also, I think it was on Friday, the news broke that Steven Strasburg retired.
Oh.
You might be forgiven for not knowing that he wasn't retired. I just wanted to bring up some stats about his contract. These are fun facts about his most recent contract. This is post-World Series.
Wait,
right?
he retired? So they probably should have protected him more injury-wise.
So that we can go back. Now we can officially litigate the Strasburg shutdown, which filled like 9 months of content on ESPN. Should they shut him down? I say yes. I think it was the right decision to shut him down.
I agree.
They won a World Series. But here's some fun facts about the contract that he got post-World Series, right? So post-World Series, he was paid $460,000 per pitch.
Whoa.
He was paid $2.6 million per out.
Whoa.
$7.8 million per inning pitched, and he was paid $30.6 million per start.
Whoa.
Probably the worst contract in baseball history.
Oh, man, that is
Shout out Scott Boras.
Yeah, shout out Strasburg for getting that money.
Yeah, no fault of his own. He can do whatever he wants, but
it's
staggering to think of $460,000 per pitch.
They should really factor in those type of contracts when electing Hall of Famers. Like, he's a Hall of Famer in my mind.
Hall of Fame bag getter.
He won a World Series. He was he did have moments of just pure brilliance, and then he cashed in to an astronomical level. Why shouldn't he be in the Hall of Fame? He played it well.
Yeah, it's the American dream.
Yeah, Chase Daniel should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
why not? The guy did it all. making money mostly is what matters. The only one who's done better is Victor Hovland, who made $1.6 million in the last 7 days.
All while playing for Manchester City too.
Yes,
pretty impressive.
Nice. He had a nice goal today.
So $18 million. It was a hell of a win.
And 3.6 last Sunday.
It looked like he was about to choke it away on what was that, like the 16th hole. It got back to 3 strokes. They put him away. Shout out Max, came in tied for 7th.
Yep.
With like everybody else.
Yep.
I think everybody
Doesn't
tied
matter.
for 7th.
Doesn't
matter.
matter.
Great job, Max.
Top 10.
But yeah, Victor Hovland. He's if we're just basing golf off the last 2 weekends, Victor Hovland is Tiger Woods 2001.
I don't know why
Ryder Cup.
He said, Ryder Cup's coming. I don't know why though. He was like, I'm going to go enjoy it. I'm going to go back home, hang with my friends and stuff. It's like, dude, if you're playing that well, go find a game to play in.
Yeah.
I just start taking people's money. Find a tournament. There's got to be a tournament. Go win a member guest.
Yeah, play wherever you can. Is he on the road to Dubai?
Probably.
Probably
I think
clean
all
up there.
roads lead to Dubai.
They do.
Yeah, that's
Silk
Rory
Road.
taught us
Yeah.
that. All right, what else? We had preseason week 3. I don't know. I'm just ready for the season.
Yeah, who cares?
I really
well, week 3 is now the new week 4 or the old week 4.
Yeah. Although I was
Rodgers
watching.
played.
Yeah, I was watching the Bears game and they pulled Justin Fields like in the red zone. It just made no sense. But yeah, there were some starters playing sparingly. But I'm just ready for the season.
Yeah, what do we think about Rodgers? How he looks?
He's going to be incredible. Yeah, Memes. You catch the Jets game?
It was a great game.
Yeah. That's it. That's all you got. You watched the whole game.
No, I watched the first 2 drives, and then it was college football.
That's all you needed.
Well,
That's
you
all I
just
needed.
want to watch, make sure he doesn't get hurt. And then Salo was saying that the reason why he wanted to play was he wanted him to have some experience in MetLife,
Oh,
like get used to the stadium
on the new turf,
on the new turf,
on the
yeah.
new non-injury turf.
Yeah, experience
The
not
home logo.
not ripping up grass and tossing it in the air. Yeah, the home logo. That's a big one.
Yeah. We also won USA won Little League World Series. That rocked.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Let's do it, boys.
Curacao. Eat our dick.
Yeah.
Well, no, because you're 12. Curacao. Good game. Yeah.
Not really.
No. It was all-time announcer jinx. Who was doing it? Steve Levy?
Carl Ravitch.
Carl Ravitch, who's like, Curacao hasn't given up a home run all Little League World Series. Next pitch, walk-off home run.
Yeah,
Rocked.
The Little League World Series is good to watch, like the funny clips of when a player steps up to bat and it says a fun fact about them underneath.
Yeah.
There was one that I saw last week and it said, this guy, his favorite sport is baseball.
Oh.
I thought that was really interesting.
I
Yeah.
saw one that was the kid was favorite emoji, the eyebrow raise.
Oh,
Yeah.
not the
He's-
double eyes?
No, he's just doing some suspect things.
There was one that said has a crush on his teacher, Mrs. Smith. Sup, Mrs. Smith? That was
Yeah.
a real one.
Yeah, that was a real one. That was a very real one.
It's real every year that I see it.
Yeah. All right, what else in the sports? I mean, this is like our last, I feel like this is the last weekend of summer.
Yeah.
Hank, would you like to say anything about, you're noticeably very sunburned.
Yeah, I was trying to get in the last few days of summer, but it's over. I had my last.
Oh, you're admitting it. You're admitting defeat.
So you're done playing golf for this entire
We've
summer.
won. We've won the war.
Yeah,
No
I
more
played
golf
my
all
last,
summer.
I
The,
played my
the
last.
temperature dropped. It felt so
I
nice
played
out.
my last weekend rounds of golf for at least till October.
What does that mean? But you work during the week, don't you? You're all business now.
That's what I'm saying. Definitely no week golf and
Weekend
Oh,
golf.
so-
weekend golf. I'm taking off till give it September.
Wait, so you're not
no
playing
more-
this week?
No more
Well,
golf.
that's work
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. But you are playing this week.
for work. Yeah.
And what's October? Is that the pro am
No,
we're
I mean,
playing in?
Yeah, that we might. By that point, hopefully, we're in a good enough spot where I can.
You can
take
let
a
your-
little bit of time on a
Yeah.
Saturday and,
So-
and go play.
So
out
you're
there.
gonna put pedal to the metal for the next 4-ish weeks.
No, for the
Yeah.
next 2 days.
Yeah. Yeah.
all fall.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, it is this does feel like this was the last weekend where I was like, oh, I don't have anything like pressing that I have to be. I had all the games on, but it didn't feel like it's going to feel next weekend.
It was
and the
preseason
weekend
for
after.
us, too,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So it's listen, even for the NBC people, they had Joe Montana. They interviewed him. They said 5-time Super Bowl winner. So Steve Young's somewhere just punching air. Like, what the fuck is this about? God damn it. Yeah, I don't know anything else. I mean, cut day, cutting guys.
I have one for who's back, but I don't.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
all
so
right,
do
all
I.
right. So let's save for who's back. We'll go to who's back.
Kirk Cousins looks great.
Yeah, he does.
Have you seen the
He
mustache?
looks awesome.
He's got the mustache. It's part Johnny Cakes, part the dude from was it Office Space? I was
It's-
like, you know what I'd do? 2 chicks at once.
Yeah, it sucks so much that we can't hate him anymore. He's just a nice guy.
I don't know if that mustache plays with Kirk though. That's not a nice guy mustache.
Well,
I'm either going to kill you or blow you mustache.
It's a week 3. It's a preseason week 3 mustache. Like he's not going to go into the season.
It's for fun.
Yeah, that was a fun dress up thing.
It was probably like if you're watching, if that was on Hard Knocks, it was like the boys. He lost a bet in the quarterback room. He probably got like too high of a score on the immaculate grid that he does every day after practice.
Yeah,
like you got to do the Fu Manchu, Kirk.
Yeah, so that he's definitely shaving that, right?
It would be shocking if he came out there wearing that.
I would actually think differently about the Vikings as an organization if he played with that all year.
Better or worse?
I think better.
Yeah,
I think better. I think they'd have an edge to them.
They're 40-1.
Okay,
they're 40-1. All
right,
I'm in on them.
All right, let's do Who's Back of the Week. It's brought to you by our friends at Game Time, the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Created by fans for fans, Game Time is a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. It's possible with the Game Time app. The biggest last-minute price drops can be found on the seats you thought you could never buy. The purchase process takes just 2 taps and 10 seconds, and once you buy your tickets, they're delivered directly to your phone. No printer needed. The app also allows you to easily share tickets with friends via text so you can get into the game seamlessly. Skip the hassle. Enjoy the moment. We got concerts. You got football starting, college football, pro football, baseball. October's coming around the corner. You can get it all Game Time. U.S. Open. It's all there on the Game Time app. So download the Game Time app or go to the website, enter your email, redeem code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Download the Game Time app, the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Okay, who's back of the week?
Who's back of the week is Messi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Beat the Red Bulls, scored he had an unbelievable goal, probably the craziest pass I've ever seen in the sport of football.
Mm-hmm.
Was it better than his pass in the World Cup final?
I think it was.
Yeah. That was a great one. You remember that one, Hank?
That World Cup final was awesome.
It was the best game of soccer
one of the most
played.
enjoyable sporting events I've watched in the last year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's back, had the craziest pass I've ever seen, got it back, scored a goal.
A little give and go is the technical term.
I might be a converted soccer guy because of Messi. I
Dude,
am
he's
the
GOAT.
target audience. Every time the clips come up, I'm like, how is he this good? More like, how is the MLS this bad?
Yeah.
But I love that they're just trotting. Like, I love how you can do that.
You know who no one's talking about? Ronaldo was playing in Saudi Arabia to no one.
Nobody cares.
He's cashing checks, and that's it.
No one cares. Not Messi. He's here for the love of the game.
Messi is dominating and loves the game.
And the pink jerseys are awesome when you're winning.
Yes.
It was very sad when Miami was just getting the shit kicked out of them. This is not Miami of Ohio. This is Inter Miami. But they were getting the shit kicked out of them for a long time in the pink jerseys.
What does
and
Inter
it's sad.
mean?
It means
Why does everyone do
inside.
that?
Inside. It's one of those stupid MLS things where
Football club.
Yeah, where they try to
Sporting.
copy. Yeah, Sporting KC.
Yeah.
DC United.
Yeah,
Even though
what-
it's just one
Football
team.
team.
Shut the fuck up, Hank. No, it's stupid.
Good one, Hank.
It's dumb.
You got 'em.
Real Salt Lake is my favorite one.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck? Come on.
They're just trying to sound cosmopolitan. But yeah, Miami, when they're winning, those pink jerseys are sick.
How sick would it be if the MLS just named every single team after a breed of dog?
That'd be great.
That would be awesome. Shout out our water dogs, by the way. Incredible comeback.
3 seed.
3 seed?
3 seed. In
I
the
like
offs.
that. No one expected anything
No one's,
from us.
no one's talking about the
no
water
one,
dogs.
not even us.
It's just crickets.
Yeah. Okay, that's your who's back, Messi?
Yeah. And
Anything else?
walk-offs.
And walk-offs?
Why walk-offs?
For the Little League World
Little League home
Series.
run, yeah.
Yeah. That was a sick home run.
Peak of that kid's life. Almost definitely.
Well,
he'll
that's
say when
sad.
he has kids.
No, actually,
He'll have
I
kids.
completely agree with you.
He'll
Hank.
have kids
There's
and
no
be
way.
like, this is the best moment of my life after the walk-off. But
Yeah.
until then, I don't know what you could do. That would,
No,
that
there's
would be a
nothing.
bigger peak.
There's nothing
See
you can do.
boobs for the first time.
I'm sure he's dude.
You think you've seen boobs?
You kidding me?
I don't know.
That is, he will never. He has peaked. He's peaked. What?
What, Hank?
No, they're
No,
12-year-olds, so I'm not going to go
What?
there.
12-year-olds can see boobs
Something's
too.
on your mind.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure like even the high school girls, if they're in that kid's grade, like
throwing
any
themselves.
girl that's within a 10-year radius of that kid is like, oh my
A
god.
high school senior is like that 12-year-old that just hit a
So
walk-off
hot.
home run.
So
Oh my
hot.
God.
Yeah. And he's just like, I want to hang with my boys.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this means yet. It's the last year of innocence. 12 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. PFT.
My who's back of the week is Donald Trump
Yes.
as a golfer.
Yes.
Specifically as a golfer, he's 6'3", 215, built out of basically iron.
Pre-reported.
Well, we don't know. I believe it. I actually did. I looked it up. I looked up other athletes that are 6'3" and 215. So Trump is the same size as Lamar Jackson, Derek Carr, Jamal Murray, Kenny Pickett, Kevin White, your guy, Lou Dort, your other guy,
Torture Chamber.
and John Wall. These are all the same body type as Donald Trump.
I just like being able to pre-report. I would like to pre-report my weight at all times now.
I'm pre-reporting that I'm also 6'3".
Yeah, and
But-
I'm also 6'3", 215.
As a golfer, Trump had a better weekend than Victor Hovland did.
Did.
So I'm going to read this. This is from, is it Truth? This is a truth, so you can't lie on it.
Yeah, it's true.
It's
social.
a truth.
It's a pact.
I am pleased to report, for those that care, that I just won the Senior Club Championship, must be over 50 years old, at Bedminster, Trump National Golf Club, shooting a round of 67. Shot a 67. Now, some people will think that sounds low, but there is no hanky-lanky. No hanky-lanky, guys.
Nice.
I know we were about to accuse him of hanky-lanky, but there was none.
And that would be Hank if he lost a little weight.
Yeah,
He'd
be
be
hanky-lanky.
hanky-lanky. Yeah.
As soon as you get into all business mode, hanky-lanky.
We need Hank. Yeah, we need you on the basketball court. Hanky-lanky out
Yeah.
there.
Ma-
Stretch 3.
There's no
There's
hanky.
a lot of food out here. I've been getting fat. That's a problem. I
Yeah.
walked on the golf course today.
You
Side
did?
note, yeah.
Really? You didn't take a cart?
Gotta burn something off.
Yeah, that's tough.
So is six-pack coming soon?
Yeah, in the winter.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Many people watch, plus I'm surrounded by Secret Service
Super Bowl.
agents. Not much you can do, even if you wanted to, and I don't. For some reason, I am just a good golfer / athlete. I have won many club championships, and it is always a great honor.
I love it.
Shot a 67.
Did you see he followed up too? Because people were like, "This is fake." He followed up with another True Social. Was like, "Here's the head groundskeeper at this club. Call him if you have any questions." He just put the guy's phone number on the internet.
Really?
Yeah,
You want to call him?
yeah. We can. I got to try to find it. Yeah.
Because
Your flashlight's on.
I think that it was a. I think he's lying about the 67. I actually do.
Okay.
I think it's more like a 65,
Trump.
but he's being very humble.
How mad do you think the guy that came? Or do you think the people that play in that tournament just know?
Yeah, if you enter a golf tournament against,
But that's like probably a
against-
really, really nice club course.
yeah. If
People
you're
paying there probably pay a lot of money.
if you're playing against Trump or Kim Jong Un, you're going to get your ass kicked. They should do the match, Donald Trump versus Kim Jong Un.
What did he have? Like 11 hole-in-ones?
Yeah,
18.
He would
Jake.
he would smoke.
18 hole. He shot an 18?
No, I think
No.
I think it was like 12 holes in one. Let's not get
It was
crazy
sick.
here.
Yeah.
Jake, you'll probably put
did-
that on your
Yeah, he
scorecard
did
soon.
He pulled a Jake.
Yeah.
Kim Jong Jake.
Listen, no hanky-lanky with my stuff, though.
Yeah.
11 holes in one.
Yeah.
Drake's
38
only
under.
vice in the world is
38
just-
under.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I mean, tell me that
hell
you
is
wouldn't
this?
tune in to watch that match.
Oh, that would be
Okay, here he is. You want to call it?
Yeah, let's call it.
All right, it's here. Ready? 973-699-6156. Mickey.
6-1.
Mickey Gallagher. That's a great name.
Mickey Gallagher. Okay.
He's the head golf pro.
Sorry, I missed your call. Please leave your name, number, and a brief message, and I promise you I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank
Leave a
you. Have
message.
a great day.
The mailbox is full. And
Oh, too many people. He's got to be so pissed.
So mad. Like I remember when Billy put my phone number out there and how mad I was for like 3 days.
Yeah.
This is at least twice as bad.
Way worse.
When Donald Trump tweets out your phone number,
Oh, man.
you're fucked.
Yeah.
But shocker, Rick Riley says that it wasn't actually 67.
Oh, don't be a hater, Rick.
He says it was more like an 86. Great journalism, Rick. Way to get to the bottom of this
Jesus,
one.
come on, Rick.
He said the caddies threw his ball 80 yards down the fairways and took it out of bunkers. Partners swatted all his putts away once on the green. Members are pissed. It's on you if you're mad at Donald Trump for beating you in golf.
Also,
He's the best golfer in the United
That
States.
rules if you have your caddies throwing the ball down the fairway for you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool with that. That's fucking awesome. Okay, my who's back is Herm Edwards being a fraud because Arizona State has a bowl ban. Herm Edwards was at Arizona State. He left.
Wait. Arizona State self-imposed a bowl ban.
Self-imposed a bowl ban.
What's different between that and what they've been doing unintentionally every offseason
Yes,
for the
that's
last
true.
like 15
That's
years?
a good point. But yeah, he was at Arizona State, got fired. Is he back on ESPN?
He's probably doing some
Probably
hits, yeah.
back on ESPN, probably talking about like character and the young men, and like he is back on
He
ESPN.
joined last season, so
So yeah, so he's on ESPN giving speeches about, upstanding character and doing the right thing. and he just left this mess in his past. So he's a total fraud.
I mean, that's what Herm Edwards is best at, though, just talking about young men.
Yeah.
And how important it is to develop young men.
Still the best is when he got the jersey and he couldn't believe how small it was.
Yeah.
He was like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, it turns out it didn't work out, and he's left a nice little fire behind for them to deal with.
Yeah, it is a brilliant strategy by Arizona State being like, hey, I know there's a lot of expectations on us this year. We will not be playing in a bowl game. Don't buy those tickets yet.
The 20 seniors were very upset.
Yeah.
They're like, fuck, we really thought this was the year.
Yeah.
Arizona State's been decent at times.
They've had a couple flashes.
They had that big win against Oregon, Justin Herbert. Remember that one?
Brock Osweiler.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. Oh, that
I
was when we
burned
went there.
couches.
Yeah. Went to the weirdest bar ever. We went to a bar in Tempe for the Notre Dame Arizona State game, and it was like a legit club that just like for the whole game was just music blasting with the biggest game they'd played in like a decade. And then every time they scored a touchdown, it would just be
CO2 cannons.
everything. It was so Arizona
That's
State.
perfect.
Sick.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
perfect
it was
for
awesome.
Arizona
I
State.
mean, I can't really make fun of Arizona State because their college experience is better than pretty much everyone's college experience besides maybe Arizona.
I wish that I had gone to Arizona
Yeah.
State.
I stayed out with some kids that were there, and we went out. They were burning couches.
Do you
was
think
great.
Gronk
Woke up
unintentionally
in
went to
a
Arizona?
dorm that had a pool. I woke up, walked outside the balcony. I was like, "This is the greatest college of all time."
Yeah,
I feel like there's a good chance that Rob Gronkowski meant to go to Arizona State,
he might have.
and he accidentally went to Arizona. He's
might
like,
have.
oh shit, I have to buy a book
Yeah,
for one of my classes.
yeah. I mean, both schools just fake life. Incredible,
Yeah.
incredible place to go to college. Okay, Jake.
My who's back is bees.
Oh no.
Orioles Rockies had a bee delay today.
Oh,
I love a good
shit.
B delay.
Yeah.
It's the best. There's one every
Oh,
year.
dude.
This
awesome.
actually this crushed the over on when the B delay usually is. Because I feel like it's usually early June we get a B delay.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the Orioles, Batista, didn't he get hurt? Didn't he tear his UCLA or something? I said UCLA again. Did that 2 times on Friday.
Towards UCLA?
Yeah, I keep saying UCLA instead of UCL.
UCL injury,
I just
yeah.
start the letters and I can't stop them.
Yeah, it's just
The train just goes off the track.
sports brain.
The UCLA. He tore his UCLA.
UCL injury. I'm not seeing
Okay, that's
potentially
bad.
season.
That's
ending.
very bad. I feel bad for Orioles fans and myself. Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, B delay, that rules. Yeah, man. Can't believe it's gonna be about playoff baseball in like a month.
Oh yeah. Your Cubs are looking pretty good.
Dude,
The Cubs are beyond frisky.
I need
now.
them to get in there. Well, they've been playing some bad teams.
Well-
but they did their work.
Yeah,
They
you
did their
can-
work.
You play who you play.
Yep.
Oh yeah, 5 weeks left in dingers only, and PFT is most likely.
What's the bottom? Just give us the
Don't
bottom
say most
3.
likely, Jake.
Give them the bottom 3
I'm like the
numbers.
Athletics. I've got that E eliminated from contention next.
Billy
Monday.
96, Hank 95, PFT 58.
Oh, I'm 4. I'm 4.
You got
from last?
106.
Damn,
Yeah.
I've been on a hot streak
And
ever
then
since
Max-
I got that fucking P file off.
Max's guy Ty France got hit 5 times this week, so he's now winning the league by 42 points.
Damn it.
Dingers only.
Worst roll. Fuck. Max. I miss Max. Miss that big oaf. Do you think he's listening?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so?
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Say something nice about Max if he's listening. I miss him. That actually is very nice. I do miss him.
Yeah.
I miss his presence.
He
There's a hole in
grows.
my heart.
He grows a great beard
He does.
that he desperately needs to have at all times.
Yes. He's holding on for dear life.
He wears a great high bun because he has long hair that he never wears down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His hair is actually best on the podcast.
His hair is the best in the podcast.
He's a great carpool partner. We carpool to this office.
Is he?
Yeah.
Actually, no. I've carpooled with Max before. We've
kinda-
had good talks.
What does he play? What kind of music does he play?
Oh, Uber carpool.
Oh, you guys get in the same Uber?
Yeah.
On the way over.
Actually,
Oh,
I'm gonna
Yeah.
take it back because I carpooled with him like in maybe December, and he talked me into a future on Villanova that they didn't even make the tournament. So I'm taking that back. I've got carpooling with Max has literally cost me money. It's like, oh, dude, once we get this guy back and this guy back, oh, it's gonna be incredible. So, but yeah, I miss Max. All right, should we get to our interview?
let's do it.
Howie Long, incredible interview.
Oh, I have a question for Hank. Explain it. Hank explains it all. What happened with Drake's album?
Oh yeah.
For all the dogs, right?
Also, Hank, you know you're doing a PowerPoint soon. When is that?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Me, Max, and Hank each have a portion.
About what?
I'm I have to explain the new NFL rules.
We assigned it to you.
Hank
when you
has
were
to do
gone.
football math, and I think Max has to do.
I'll do the. Quiz
I guess
for
Max
you.
won't be here, so if one of you guys want to substitute or can double
What's
up.
Max's?
Same face,
Memes
different
will do
place.
that. Memes, you got to do that now.
Same face, different place.
All right, so Memes will do that, and then
Hank's
I'll
football math
write a
quiz.
quiz for you for
now I'm
football
explaining
math.
new rules.
Okay, yes. So be ready for. You don't have to do anything. You just got to bring your brain.
But more importantly, tell
for
me
the
about
first time ever.
For All the Dogs.
He announced the album, put out the artwork, said it was coming soon.
Yeah.
Didn't say when, and then he put out he has an OVO Sound Radio, and they put out a new episode on Friday night, so everyone was reporting that that's when it was dropping.
Stop banging the table.
I'm not banging the table. Just talk with my hands. But he's still on tour, so at one of his concerts, he was like, I said it's coming out soon, but I'm still doing these shows. Basically, once he's done with his tour, it's going to come out.
Wait, when's his tour over?
I don't know.
I was told the album was coming out last Friday.
That's what I thought, too.
Since when did they start doing tours that just never end? Is this Tom Segura? Did he do this?
Well, no, it's just nice. You don't actually have to be on tour anymore. You can just fly into a town.
Taylor Swift's got. Didn't she extend her tour
extended,
to
yeah.
2024?
By like 3 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because she's a terrorist.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right, so Drake, when is it coming?
When the tour ends. I don't know when that is.
Drop the album, coward.
Yeah.
Come on, do it.
Well, it said it's a summer album. Summer's almost over. Summer is over.
Summer's
Drake.
over, Hank. Admit it.
Summer's over.
If I'm just basing it off the cover art, I think it's going to be a banger.
Yeah, I hope it's a rap
It's a-
album.
It's
How
a
mad do you
creepy
get
dog.
when summer ends, knowing how happy I am?
I get very sad, but I said this other day. The difference between
Don't bang the
summer
table.
ending when you are a child versus
Yes.
adult, like when you're a child and summer's over,
It's
is
terrible.
legitimately
I agree with you there.
depressing.
Yes, the back to school commercials, instant triggering thought.
And just knowing you have 9 months of hell before you can have summer again. At least in the fall, it's like I'd rather be in summer, but the fall is fun too.
Maybe the most depressing
I just have to
moment
work
of
more. It's
every
really
summer
just the reality of it.
is when your mom would take you to Old Navy. Just be like, got to get a couple new fits. Let me
Yeah.
get a long sleeve with a line across it, and then another long sleeve with a line across it. I'm ready to go.
And then if you're a parent, there's no bigger difference at all because you're so excited about back to school.
Yeah.
Parents fucking love back to school.
Yeah.
They couldn't wait to get rid of your stinking ass.
Yes.
They were so happy.
Like, you
The
go to
sec-
school,
You left their
buddy.
house and they're like, thank God that piece of shit's no longer here.
Get ready
They were
to
so-
read, buddy.
They were so happy to not have
Yeah.
to deal with your bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah, having to read an entire book the last 3 days before school starts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I forgot about the book.
Summer reading.
Summer reading
Oh
project, yeah.
man, did that
Shout out
suck.
Spark Notes.
dude? Now
Jake.
Oh wow, Jake.
So you're
cheater.
admitting to
What else
taking
did you
shortcuts,
cheat at?
Jake.
Cheating. It's not cheating. It's using a resource.
no, that's cheating.
It is. Did you read the book or just Spark Notes?
Oh, Jake probably did both.
No.
Cheater.
Depends.
You cheated.
No, it's not cheating.
Now that I'm like living it all over with my kids, I just like school sucks. It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
School sucks.
You have to get up so early to go to school.
And it's just all you got to do is sit there and just fucking learn shit, and they call on you, and you have to do
Not me.
homework. God damn. Well, they called on you. You didn't do the homework.
Yeah, no, I was active in class. I just like to mess around with my friends.
yeah,
But,
active in what way?
like I was always good. Like some people were shy or like didn't want to talk. Like I was always down to do the reading. I would just throw my hands up for answers. Like if they were, what do you think about this? And I would just throw something out there just to participate, even if it was wrong.
Remember
yeah,
popcorn
Homework
reading?
not good. Tests not good.
Oh, tests
Behavior
suck.
not
Test
good.
anxiety.
Dude,
the
doing
worst.
like projects, science Oh man,
Remember-
did
but I was
that
active.
Suck.
You remember that bullshit that they made you learn? Math sucks.
Useless.
Dude, math
Science
sucks.
useless.
Yeah.
I didn't even.
Trigonometry.
Oh, dude, I was so bad at math. I've never been in the same room as calculus.
No.
Never
neither
even
I.
came close.
I took Algebra 2 twice. and
Yeah,
I got
me
I got a
too.
worse grade the second
Yes.
time that I took it than
Dude,
the first
I just
time.
kept on bumping myself down to lower math
Yeah.
class.
I took algebra in college. That's when I knew it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I took one day of calculus, walked out,
Oh,
and then they're like, "You're going to be in algebra," and I was like,
So you
"I've
made-
taken algebra 3 times."
you
but
made it farther than me. I
Yeah.
literally have never been in the same room as calculus. We've never met.
went-
I never want to meet
Yeah,
you.
why
I've been
would you-
pre-calc, I
yeah.
forget.
Why would you ever need calculus to do
for
anything?
anything.
No, the best part was they would give you the graphing calculator, the TI-82.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just spend your entire time playing Drug Wars on it.
Yeah, and the what's the asteroid game? That one rocked too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that calculator was a fucking
Yeah,
beast.
It was a tank.
They were
That thing was
expensive
a
too.
beast.
$200.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Let's talking Drake.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's probably like a 16-year-old AWL right now who's listening to this part being like, fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck my life.
It's not just you. School sucks.
Charlie
School
Woods
sucks. And also,
Yeah,
you know
Charlie.
what? Yeah, Charlie.
Yeah. Good
Well,
call,
school
Charlie.
probably doesn't suck for him because he probably just
Smart.
goes to golf school.
Well, he's probably super smart,
He's
too.
probably the smartest kid ever. He probably teaches the calculus class.
Yeah.
Like, teacher, let me handle this. This is it's good. We're keeping the young AWLs humble.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of talk about us getting old. Guess what? I'd rather be me than you right now, bitches.
I didn't really do it, again, about my education, but I feel like going back to college is the best.
What do you mean? Not being the old person in college. That guy was weird.
No, but like
the random old lady who's sitting in
going
your
back
lecture?
to college in your 4 years of college.
Yes,
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 yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
100%.
syllabus week.
Oh,
The
that
only-
was the welcome week where you just
Yeah.
like drink for an entire week, get fucked up.
The only bad part about going back to college is when you schedule yourself for an early-ish morning class on a Friday.
Never.
And the first week you're like, well, this was a mistake. I need to change up my entire degree platform
Dude.
that I have right now so I don't have to, so I can still get drunk on a Thursday night.
My first semester, I had Friday classes. Not a single semester after did I take a single Friday class. I
Yeah.
would literally like Tuesdays and Thursdays. I would go to I'd work like a legit 8 to 7 job. I'd just go to all my classes and then just be done.
There was one year that I tried to set it up where I had every single class, and I mean literally every class, only Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, that's
So I'd have
me
a
every
4-day
year.
weekend, and I tried to do it my very first Tuesday in school. I had to sprint around campus.
Yeah.
And it was physically impossible for me to make all those classes. So at the end of the day, I probably had like 25,000 steps just getting around campus. And I just couldn't do it. I was like, fuck, I give up. I'll do a Monday, Wednesday class.
See, the
Yeah.
problem is that you should have just not gone to the class. That's what I started doing. I did I loaded up Tuesday and Thursday and then just stopped going to half of them.
Yeah.
And read the book.
For that one weekend, though, having a 4-day weekend was pretty awesome.
That's a little tip for all the college students going back to college right now. Your professors are lazy pieces of shit that have tenure. So either go to the class or read the book. Don't do both. That's it. All the answers will be either if you go to the class and listen and take notes, you're good. And if you don't, just read every book they assign, and then you're good.
You can probably take a shitload of Zoom classes, too.
Oh, yeah,
And then
that's
just
true.
turn your computer on and go away.
That's true. Yeah, you definitely could do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All right. Howie Long. Incredible interview with Howie Long. Been a long time we want him on, and is brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Coors Light. Fall doesn't have to be a buzzkill to your summer chill. Wow, perfect ad reads. Reading Hank's mind right now. Coors Light helps you find moments to unwind. Big work presentation. Follow it with a happy hour, some friends, and a cold Coors Light. Weekend chores. Take Saturday off and hit the tailgate. Even if you don't have tickets to the game, whenever you need to hit reset, reach for a Coors Light. It's made to chill. There's only one beer out there that's literally made to chill, and that's Coors Light. The mountains on the bottles and cans even turn blue when your beer is cold. That way you always know when it's time to chill. When you need to hit the reset, just open a Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Coors Light is the one I choose when I need to unwind. So when you want to hit reset, reach for the beer that's made to chill. Perfect beer for that brisk fall weather. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Coors Light, the best beer in the world. I was actually at a bar or dinner on Friday night. They didn't have Coors Light, and I said, I won't drink another beer because that's the only beer I drink. Coors Light, the most delicious beer in the world. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. CoorsLight.com/take. Get it there or delivered straight to your door with Drizzly or Instacart. Okay, here he is, Howie Long. Okay, we now welcome on a very, very, very special guest. It is someone we've wanted to have on for a very long time. We're completing the Long family trilogy. It is Howie Long, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champ, father of 3 great men, and 2 of them who have become our very good friends, and Chris and Kyle. Let's start with this. I mean, thank you for coming on. We really I remember when we first started hanging out with Kyle and Chris, it was probably like a decade ago. We're like, hey, when are we going to get Howie on? When are we going to get Howie on? And now you're here, and we couldn't be more excited.
I think they were frightened for me. They both love you guys. And to be honest, I'm not a podcast watcher. Diane does play their podcast as she's walking around the house doing whatever she does around the house. And periodically I just go, oh my God, did they say that? Oh, you can't do that. And I'm more buttoned up. I think, my generation I'm now 63. So I'm a little bit different, but they were excited that I was coming on, and they love you guys. And, they both had different approaches. I know Chris threatened you guys, and Kyle said, have fun.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between Chris and Kyle. Chris and Kyle are two totally different guys. Same house, same love, same rules, just came out different.
Yeah, you don't know this, and I think a lot of our listeners might not even know this, but I think you actually have been on this show before. I think when we interviewed Chris, there was one point where you walked in the room and we screamed a question at you. And I think you might have said something, then walked out.
You're doing a drive-by. You're counting a drive-by. Chris has done a lot of stuff over the years, as you can imagine. So, I know they talk about your show a lot.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
And I listened to a little bit earlier today. You were talking, I think it was yesterday or the day before, with Daryl Johnson.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, that one's. I was gonna say, it's very hit or miss when you listen to an episode where it's like you could get a really good interview, and then you could get us talking about something completely different that you might have been like, "What the hell are these guys talking about?"
Yeah, and listen, I've been at it for 43 years now, including the Raiders, and this is the 30th year at Fox. So anything you want to talk about, we can talk about. We can talk about Oakland, Los Angeles, Las Vegas. We can talk about the boys. We can talk about Villanova, which is a good plug for them.
Yeah. I got an easy one to start out with. Who do you love more, Chris or Kyle?
I told them at the wedding, because Howie just got married up here in Montana, and I said, look, guys, I pulled both of them aside. I said, look, Howie's getting married, and this is all about Howie. And I was speaking at the wedding, and I said, look, I'm gonna really talk. I know you guys keep score, but I'm gonna really talk Howie up. And I started out with, a lot of people ask why I waited to name our third child Howie, and I said, well, it's easy because he's our favorite. He's the best athlete in the family. He's really just our favorite, and I want to just get that out now after all these years. And they took it pretty well. They were good about it.
I love that. I love that you looked at Chris when he was born. And you're like, nope,
not yet,
not a Howie.
Not yet.
Look at Kyle.
The funny thing about Chris, when Chris was born, this is something people don't know. I had 11 fingers when I was born. I had an extra pinky finger on my right hand, and so here we are at the hospital in Santa Monica, and Diane had just delivered Chris, and the doctors, you could see they were kind of, they take the baby and they take Chris over and wipe him down, and they're I can see there's something going on, and your biggest concern always as a parent is health, and that's number one. Gender, whatever it is, as long as it's a healthy baby, we're blessed. And Chris had the 11th finger, and they tie it off. There's no cartilage, and it ends up kind of dying off, and they cut it off. But we have that in common.
Wow,
he would have been such a good tight end.
Yeah. You got to leave that.
Yeah,
you got to leave that finger. I did want to start with Villanova, and we could go through your whole career because it's an incredible career. But Villanova, obviously not known for football. What was the decision with Villanova? And you also boxed at Villanova. You are probably the toughest guy in the world. But what from Charlestown? Why'd you end up going to Villanova?
It's a complicated story. I left my dad left when I was probably about 8 or 9. He grew up in it, and this is a story that I think a lot of people don't know. But my dad grew up in an orphanage from birth to 18 years old. He was 6'7", 255, and never played sports. And obviously, when you're growing up in an orphanage, and at 18, they give you the option of going into the military or staying until what was then the legal age, 21. He goes out and joins the Army, and they put him in the Alaskan Ski Patrol, throw some head 220s on him, and shove him down the freaking mountain. I mean, that was his military experience. He's in the Alaskan Ski Patrol. Gets married to my mom, and my sister and I, and we were also separated when I was probably 9. I grew up in a few different households. I had the good fortune of having really, really great extended family. It was a classic, Boston Irish Catholic, Charlestown kind of neighborhood family. And it started with my grandmother, who was a widow, and she worked at Hood's Milk, and my uncles worked at either the projects or Hood's Milk. And at some point, each uncle had a specific hand in kind of helping to raise me, but specifically my Uncle Mike, Aunt Edie, and my grandmother, and particularly my grandmother. And desegregation hit Boston school system, and I hadn't played sports until then. This was 9th grade. We played in the street. It was a dead end street, Albion Place, and at the bottom of the street was the L train. And you went out, you played, you did everything. Hockey, basketball, football, anything. It was on Rutherford Avenue on a patch of grass and by Hood's Milk. And so we never played organized sports. But when that whole desegregation thing hit and the busing riots and all that, my grandmother asked my Uncle Billy and Aunt Ada to take me in. He was the first relative. He was then working, I think, at the D Street Projects in South Boston. He took me in for 3 years. And a high school coach walking down the hallway named Dick Corbin, who ended up coaching at Harvard with Joe Resnick Sr., ended up kind of changing my life when he said, "Hey, who are you? And do you want to go out for the football team?" And I was 14 years old, and I had started school early. Why, I don't know, but I ended up as a 17-year-old freshman at Villanova. But long story short, I had 2 scholarship offers. I had Boston College and I had Villanova. And for a couple of reasons, a challenging neighborhood. I wasn't a particularly tough young kid. I didn't really figure it out until I was about 16, 17. And she had made the decision in great part because she wanted me to get out of the neighborhood and go down to Villanova. And I was recruited by a guy named Bob Capone, who was a coach there. And I went there with the clothes on my back. It was a challenge academically. It was a challenge socially. It was a challenge certainly financially. I never left. I was there Thanksgiving, Christmas, spring break. I didn't know what spring break was. I mean, you have no money. Where are you going to go on spring break?
Right.
I went to summer school there every summer. So I lived in the dorm, and I still see the visual of the dorm with, Sydney Marie, who's a runner from Africa, and, another runner from Ireland. And there were like 5 lights on the dorm at Christmas. And, I was one of those rooms. And Villanova was the best experience. I met my wife there. She was a classics major. I wasn't. Greek and Latin. So, yeah, and I was in survival mode. And ironically enough, I played with a guy named Joe Resnick, who ended up going to Notre Dame and captaining Notre Dame. You see his name in the movie Rudy, when he's checking the list. His dad was Joe Resnick Sr., who coached at Harvard for 20 some odd years. Again, you come to a lot of forks in the road in your life. And the interesting thing was, a player either got hurt or pulled out of the blue-gray game, which they don't play anymore down in Alabama on Christmas Day.
Yep.
And Joe Resnick was on the selection committee. And Joe, put my name forward. And, ironically enough, I was on the North team, and my coach was a guy named Jimmy Johnson from Oklahoma State. And I ended up winning the MVP. Kind of like Kyle's story, only Kyle's was more well known coming out of high school and college. So I win the MVP, and the next thing I know, they have pro days at big schools, Oklahoma, Texas, Florida. They have pro day, and all the scouts come, and I ran 35 times. I ran in the snow, I ran in the rain, I ran on the front lawn of my dorm in sneakers, where a scout was just coming by and checking a box. No one really,
Right.
you know, in my mind had me pegged as, and I certainly didn't think I was going to be drafted in the second round. So, you know, a guy named Earl Leggett comes up, defensive line coach, the same coach that brought up Michael Strahan, and great coach. I think he's, you know, as good a defensive line coach as I've, you know, could ever imagine in the NFL. He built you from the ground up. And the prototype was a guy from a small school, didn't have, you know, kind of a formulated plan, build it from the ground up, get in your stance, take the first step. You know, this is how you get off the ball, the whole thing. And they draft me in the second round, and I tell the boys and they laugh. My contract was 38, 48, 58, 68, 78, 88, and an option year. Ron Wolf, who went on to, you know, Green Bay Packer fame and, you know, is in the Hall of Fame, GM, great talent evaluator. He was part of the group that drafted me in the second round. So I was, you know, I bought a used Coupe de Ville. I looked Oakland up on the map. I bought a used Coupe de Ville in Tucson, Arizona, from the only agent that would even speak to me, and he was a used car salesman. I think his name was Bernie Perlin, and drove out to Oakland and never looked back, and lived with a guy by the name of Cedric Hardman my rookie year, who played for the Niners, was a great player with the Niners, and ironically enough was Joe Green's roommate in college at North Texas State, and we played them that year. And Joe came over to dinner in our little house in Alameda, and it was, you know, you're living the life, man. My check was $1,007 after taxes.
Wow.
So then my sons get drafted, and they can buy me.
Yeah, that's an incredible. I mean, the whole story is incredible. Do you think about the moment when this guy, your high school coach, just sees you walking down the hallway? And it's like, you know, maybe someone else would have seen your you know, your size and been like, hey, let's get this kid in football. But like these sliding door moments, it feels like you had so many to get to that point and have a Hall of Fame career.
I say there's no way, you know, it's whether it's Earl Leggett, it's, you know, the blue-gray game, it's Dick Corbin, who was my high school coach, Bob Capone at Villanova. I think of Sister Mary Margaret Cribben, who was, you know, someone who was, you know, being an athlete, you know, I think at places, you know, it's human nature for a professor at a Villanova or University of Virginia or wherever to kind of look at an athlete in a different light. And certainly, hey, listen, when you go in that class your freshman year and it's a philosophy class, and the question is, if a cow eats the daisy, does the daisy then become the cow, or does the cow become the daisy? I turned to the guy next to me and said, I'm flunking this freaking class. I have no shot. So it was a challenge, you know, and there were a lot of forks in the road, and I've always had somebody at each fork that, you know, and it's like Fox, you know, I retire. We want to raise the boys in Virginia. We looked around the country, we looked everywhere from Oregon to Cape Cod. And, you know, Diane found this 65-acre parcel with an old 1846 Georgian, 5 minutes from the University of Virginia. You know, at that time, there's no internet, there's no, you know, cell phones are like you know, a briefcase. You know, you're really kind of left to your own kind of research. And, you know, you do Chamber of Commerce, you're looking at weather, you're looking at crime, you're looking at change of season, you're looking at proximity to airport, you're looking at university town maybe. And it came down to Chapel Hill and Charlottesville, and she found an old Georgian house, and we restored it. And yet again, another fork in the road. And, you know, I'd like to say it was a brilliant decision, but we just got lucky, and the boys loved Virginia, and we had a great time there. And then I retire, and you know, LA at that time, there were floods, there were fires, there was the riots, the whole thing. And it was like, you know, God is sending, you know, a message, get out of LA.
Yeah.
Because it was all happening. It would all kind of happen at the same time. And we decided we're going to raise the boys somewhere else. And we decided to pick up and move to Virginia. You know, I'm exaggerating, but we moved to Virginia on a Friday. I got a job at Fox on Monday.
That's crazy.
So now I'm one, we're raising boys on an opposite coast from where I'm working. I'm flying out on Friday, and I'm driving up to Dulles, and it's 2 hours plus up to Dulles up there. And you take a flight, and you pray the flight's good, and you go out and do the show, and you think to yourself, well, there was a show that was going to be on TNT, and it was more money. And here we had this Fox thing, which was a blank sheet of paper, literally a blank sheet of paper. It was Fox Sport at that point. And David Hill and Ed Goren and Scotty Ackerson and that whole kind of group at the beginning, and Terry and Jimmy and JB, who was great. And, then later on, we added Kurt, and we added Michael Strahan, who couldn't have computer generated a better guy to be on the show. You don't think when you're doing that, this is year 30.
Yeah.
When I started there, Chris was, I think, 9, Kyle was 5, Howie was 4. So my kids grew up with Terry's kind of he's the Shreveport, Louisiana version of Uncle Buck, the movie Uncle Buck.
Yes.
Where all the stuff that, you don't want him to do, he does with your kids.
Yeah.
And he was great. I mean, they love Terry, and Terry loves the kids, and it's been a great run. But did I expect 30 years of doing it? And I coached high school football for 8 years back there. I coached Little League baseball. I kept the book. In Little League, someone's crying in between innings every inning, and you're part bookkeeper, you're part I don't know what psychologist. It's a challenge, but to be a part of coaching them for 8 years, all the boys in Little League and high school football was important to me. And Fox was a network that would allow me to do that. And I made that a priority, and they certainly respected that, and were very supportive. And then ironically enough, you fast forward, here the 9-year-old is playing in an NFC championship game, or Kyle's playing, I go to that game. St. Louis is playing, St. Louis is playing the Bears, and Kyle decides he's going to, get in a barroom brawl. And, it was kind of an awkward moment.
Yeah.
But there've been some great moments where I remember when Philly was in the NFC championship game in Philly. And, you got to remember, Terry's like an uncle to the boys. So I'm sitting at the desk, and our grandson Waylon, who's now 7, was I don't know exactly how old he was then, maybe 3 or 2.5 or 3. And he comes by the set, and I put him up on my lap, and we're facing the crowd. And behind me is the stage where Terry's presenting the trophy for the NFC championship game, and he's interviewing Chris. And he has a dog mask on. I mean, and I've got
incredible.
I've got Waylon in my lap, and we're looking at the monitor and seeing this, and it was such a surreal moment. I really have to try to, whether it's Kyle with the Pro Bowls and Chris with the 2 Super Bowls, and we cover a lot of those games. We did the Super Bowl. We're down 28-3. I say we. The Patriots are down 28-3. I mean, Chris had a decision to make when he left St. Louis. And my thought process was, okay, so why are you playing? And, you have money. Why are you playing? And he said, to win. You want to win a championship. I said, well, the guy in New England has gone on X number of times. They've been in the championship X number of times. There have been in this many Super Bowls. They won X number of Super Bowls. He really liked Atlanta. He liked the coach, who's now the defensive coordinator in Dallas. And he really liked his conversations with them. But I said, New England. He finally decides to go to New England. And here we are covering the game, and it's the first half, and then it's the third quarter, and I'm standing next to Terry on the sideline, and they're down 28-3, and I'm the worst freaking dad in the world, because I have pushed my son to New England, and the team he liked is up 28-3, and this is going to be a blowout.
Wow.
And Terry said to me in, like, it's like, call it what you want. You know, I mean, he's a savant. He just said, "Don't worry, little buddy." He calls me little buddy. Why? I don't know. Little buddy, Tom's going to throw it all around the yard. It's going to be the greatest comeback in Super Bowl history.
There it is.
This is a genius. Terry Bradshaw, certified genius.
Yes.
First reported by
Yes.
Howie Long.
Facts.
You said your dad was in the Alaskan ski patrol. That's pretty tough. Don't discount yourself, though, because you flew out of Dulles Airport every single week for I don't know how many years. That's harder. That's harder than being on top of a mountain in Alaska. That's, in my opinion, the worst airport to fly out of.
I knew every tree between Charlottesville and Dulles Airport. Now Dulles became Culpeper. I don't know if you know the area.
I'm from Herndon.
There was nothing between there was nothing between Culpeper and Dulles Airport. Now it's just merged on down. So yeah, it was a challenge to do that travel. I think I want to say 17 or 16, we bought a parcel out in Arizona, North Scottsdale, and we built a house out there. So my travel now is much easier. I do 1 hour flight home. I could be home at 7 o'clock on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
So I want to go back to the Raiders. When you get drafted by the Raiders and you meet Al Davis for the first time, what was that like?
You know, I really wasn't really a historian of the game as a kid at Villanova. I mean, I didn't really think about the NFL. Diane and I we laugh about this, but it wasn't in my wheelhouse. I didn't think about it. I said, you know, maybe I'll get with a team. I remember, and you know, I've laughed about this when I went and worked out for the Eagles. Dick Vermeil was there, and Dick's a sweetheart of a guy. If you know Dick, he's a really nice man. Dick thought he was helping me when he said, "Look, before a team cuts you, make sure they try you at offensive guard." And he actually said that. And you know, in his mind, I think he was trying to help me. And the older I've gotten, the more I come to appreciate that. And I sat next to him at the Hall of Fame this year and had a great conversation with him. Just a good man. But I get to Oakland. You got to remember, Villanova has a priest on every floor, you know, and at that time the dorms were split up. You know, women didn't go in the dorm, you know, after a certain time of day, or you know, whatever the rules were. There's no alcohol. It's a dry campus. You walk in that locker room and guys are smoking Salem lights and playing cards, and you know, it's the Oakland Raiders, and the characters were larger than life. And, you know, the first day you're going against Art Shell and Gene Upshaw and pit drills. And, you know, just a couple of months ago, I'm playing Delaware, you know, in front of 3,000 people. So it was a bit of a shock. And thankfully I survived my rookie year and got through it.
Yeah. So that Raiders team, first of all, you got the best compliment of anyone, I think, ever, because Hunter S. Thompson, I think, did a whole piece on that Raiders team that won the Super Bowl. He called you the manliest man ever, which I don't think you can get a better compliment than that from Hunter S. Thompson. The manliest man ever, which you are. I can attest to that. Did you spend some time with him? Were you like when he was doing that piece with the Raiders? Because I'm sure that, like, just seeing that Raiders team, all the characters and everyone involved, it was such an iconic team.
It was an iconic team, and it had great characters. You know, the late Cliff Branch, you know, all those people that, you know, you talk about it. It's Ted Hendricks. Ted was the smartest player I ever played. You know, Ted could come in on a Monday morning after a long Sunday night, and we pop up the video of the upcoming opponent. He called plays. Lyle Alzado, you know, Matt Millen, who is one of the great characters, and you know, if you could pull up Matt Millen, Howie Long, Pat Sullivan. It's an image, and when you see it on your screen, you're going to go, "Oh my God!" So what had happened there was we were playing New England in the playoffs out at the Coliseum, and
Yes.
you know, we kind of crapped the bed at the end, had a fumble, or you know, whatever. There was a special teams player, whatever it was. I mean, we all could have played and we lose. But there was an article in the Boston Globe earlier in the week about how the Patriots never looked at local talent. And, he took great offense to it. And I didn't know who he was. I mean, at that age, I didn't know who was in somebody's front office. I didn't know who was in our front office other than Ron Wolf. I didn't know what Ron Wolf did. I didn't know he was the GM because you didn't have titles with the Raiders. So this guy's walking up and down the sideline yelling at me throughout the whole game. And I'm saying, why is there a drunk guy on their sideline? And, I didn't know what the deal was. So now we're walking off, and Matt and I would always walk off together. And this guy, I could see the guy, my head's on a swivel everywhere I go. So, if I'm at a restaurant, I'm eyeing up who's the biggest threat. When I'm walking off the field, my peripheral vision is keen, and I see this guy coming towards me now. Now he's saying, Howie, and it seems like he wants to make friends, and I'm just ignoring him. And he said, hey, Howie, and I said, I just gave him a hand or whatever and started walking. And he said, you don't know who I am. And I no, I don't know who you are. And I think I'm paraphrasing, but he said something like, I own the team. And then it dawned on me, and I said something like, unless your dad died last night, you don't own shit. And he extended his hand towards me, and Matt saw this. And Matt allegedly.
Yeah.
The
I'm
picture's
looking at the
right here.
picture.
Yeah.
Wait, it's right after he allegedly hit him in the
allegedly
face.
punched the GM of the Patriots in the face.
No, he didn't. He hit him with his helmet.
Oh, he
He hit him with his helmet.
the Miles
Allegedly.
Garrett. Yeah, allegedly.
Assault.
Allegedly. That's
And-
incredible.
And I've seen him now later, in years, because he owned all the satellite trucks that broadcast the games. That's his business, and they sold the Patriots, and he's a nice guy. Seems like a nice guy, and it was just heat of the moment. Those things happen, but they generally don't happen with a civilian. It's one thing you get in a fight at work. Fights at work were, you got in fights at work, and that's kind of the way it was. And you had the beat writer, you had your three major networks, and there's no sports radio, there's no, internet, there's no 5,000 shows talking about it. Jay Glazer's not in your closet or under your bed.
Yep.
There's nobody. So things don't leave the building. Fights on planes, fights in the locker room, fights on the field. Those things didn't happen. And plus our facility we were an island unto ourselves. The building was, nobody's in the building. There's nobody in the building. I compare it to New England. I remember one time I went up and I was doing a story on one of the Patriots. I think maybe it's Junior Seau, I think. And, Burge, who's, a gentleman who works for the Patriots, and he's kind of Bill's right-hand guy, said, Bill wanted to invite you out to practice. So I go out to practice, and it's the indoor bubble. And name another practice where there's not one person, not friend of, not sponsor, there's not one person in the building other than me standing on the sideline. Mm-hmm. And that reminded me of our building. Our building was like that. Al was like that. Al was larger than life. And he wore a cologne and the defensive line always was way down, on a secondary abbreviated field during individual period where we did warm-ups and did individual drills. And he'd walk out of the building and you could smell that perfume. And I'm telling you, every coach, was puckered up immediately because he was at every practice.
Yeah.
And he was a brilliant football mind, good boss. I remember one time he walked up to me. I'm sitting on my helmet at practice, and he said, "Oh, Long, you think you're fucking tough?" and I'm saying to myself, does he think he can kick my ass?
Yeah. Yeah. Howie Long is being brought to you by our great friends at Sport Clips. Howie's got a great haircut, by the way. That's That's a haircut you can set your watch to, and you can get it at Sport Clips. Ask them for the Howie Long. Your hair might grow fast, but after going to Sport Clips haircuts, you're going to wish that it grew even faster. That's because Sport Clips has the best seats in hair, and that may or may not be because they happen to be right in front of TVs playing sports all day, every day. We know that watching sports while getting a haircut sure beats watching your reflection get a haircut, which is why at Sport Clips, every day is clippers and curveballs, high tops and Hail Marys, and even waves and wickets if you're into that sort of thing. At Sport Clips, you can check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. So yeah, come watch an endless stream of sports on TV while getting an awesome haircut. Sport Clips, it's a game changer. Sport Clips, I love Sport Clips. Best haircut in the world. And now here's more Howie Long.
Probably. Wait, these Raiders teams, like I said, iconic. When you guys play in the Super Bowl, the story kind of goes that the Eagles were all buttoned up. You know, no one's going out, and the Raiders are the Raiders.
That's the 80-81 team.
Okay, all right. So that was the 80-81 team, but the Raiders from Al Davis down, it felt like the team played with such swagger and kind of this uncontrolled chaos. And could you feel that when you're standing on the sideline, like, these guys are crazy, but they're on my side, so I'm happy they're so crazy?
Well, Lyle Alzado, and it's kind of a funny story, but Lyle came there in 1982. Okay. Strike shortened year. We're practicing in Oakland, but we're playing in LA. So every game's a road game. So Lyle and I are living in a single hotel room with 2 queen beds at the Oakland Airport Hilton.
Jeez.
Now I'm living with Lyle Alzado in a room. Think about that. I'm 22 years old. He was, I called him 3 Mile Lyle, bless his heart, because it was, you never knew when, it was going to explode. He was benevolent, kind, tyrannical. He was a card carrying bad man.
Yeah.
And we were close, as close as a 34-year-old and a 22-year-old could be. And we would take a cab when, we'd stay at the hotel down in LA. We'd take a cab, first cab drive, right after the team meeting in the morning. Everyone else went up to the room. They left for the stadium at maybe, 10:30, 11 o'clock. We left at 9:05. We wanted to be there early. Lyle would get dressed. He'd lie down on the floor, fully dressed, not pads, shirt, pants, cleats, taped up, the whole thing, and would fall asleep. And I would pour over, out of East Near Eye Right, they run this 17 times. That was my way of doing things. So we get in this cab, and we say the cab driver will go to the stadium. So we're going. We don't know where we are because it's our first week in LA. He takes us to Dodgers Stadium. Now the meter, Lyle had it's like a mood meter. It's like the RPMs in your car when they're on red, and he was just furious. So this repeated itself. We finally get to the Coliseum. We take a cab every week. That's what we do. We did that in '83 when we went to the Super Bowl. So we're down in Tampa Bay, and this is before the Super Bowl became, the crazy kind of, roadblocks, concrete barriers. I mean, 9/11 changed everything. And I remember we did that Super Bowl down in New Orleans, which was, really kind of an eerie experience. But so here we are in this cab going to the stadium to go to the Super Bowl. Try to imagine that today.
Yeah.
So we're in the cab going to the stadium down in Tampa Bay, the old stadium. And we get caught in traffic like a mile and a half from the stadium. Jam-packed traffic. Kyle wants the cab driver to go up on the curb and drive down the curb. The cab driver, bless his heart, I don't know how long he'd been here, and the communication was a challenge, and Lyle was MF this and that. And we get out of the car, and Lyle Alzado and I, with our bag, walking through the parking lot of the stadium, Super Bowl 18, to get to the stadium from the Cat.
Holy
Yeah, now you
shit.
got police escorts, you
That's
got the whole nine.
incredible.
Can
Yeah.
you talk?
That's insane.
Can you talk a little bit about your acting career? I've always been a fan of Firestorm. Thought that was a criminally underrated movie.
Yes.
The VHS copy is in Canton. I remember when we took the tour. They've got a copy of the movie right there. Fantastic movie. But what I didn't realize about your career is that you were supposed to be in That Thing You Do. You actually
I'm
were
in the
it,
director's cut,
but they
I'm
cut your
not-
scene.
I'm in the director's cut. I think it was a Disney film. I believe it was a Disney film. So I think it inferred that, I and Tom Hanks and I were,
you were a gay couple.
lovers.
Yeah.
Yes. Although there was nothing tangible to point to that other than, you kind of put two and two together and watching it. So Tom called up. He's a Raider fan, and he wanted to see if I'd come down and do this, and I did. They fit me for a tuxedo, and I'm driving this car, and I'm at this historic hotel in downtown LA that was closed, and we shoot this scene late at night, and I'm waiting for him, and one of the band members who's a problem needs to get back to wherever, and so, I'm excited. I'm in the film, and the film comes out, and I'm not in. My assumption was, and I can't, because it's in the director's cut. If you watch the director's cut, it's in the director's cut, and you can YouTube and watch it. It's an awkward little scene, but yeah, I did that, and then I got a call about Broken Arrow, and John Woo was directing Broken Arrow, and I was supposed to be there for 3 weeks. I ended up staying for 3 months, and John Woo kept coming in my trailer and saying, "You, John Wayne, I make you bigger," and just kept coming in and, adding. So I'm basically driving around in a Hummer with John Travolta for two and a half months. And Fox had signed me to a 2-picture deal with they had the right, if someone else made an offer to do something outside of that contract, to preempt me within 5 days. Disney made an offer to do a film, and they came up with Firestorm. Not only did they preempt me, but they had me do the film during football season in Canada. So I'm getting done with our show, landing in Canada, going through customs, the whole thing, getting to the hotel, getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday. I'm up in the woods in Whistler shooting this film, go back down. I've got a production meeting Saturday morning. I've got to be back down there on Friday night. And it happened for 3 months. And I'm getting calls from home from Diane, where the boys have set up ramps and they're jumping their bikes in the pool, and Howie's getting pulled out of carpool. So that film, for me, whether listen, I'm not saying that was a direction I would go in, or I was any good, but the option of it to me wasn't viable, because here I am, I'm on the road for 3 months, I'm working 7 days a week.
Right.
For 3 months, and the boys are home, and Di's there, and she's, she had a thriving law practice in LA. She went to law school at USC, and she had given all that up to raise the boys. And here I am on the road, and she's by herself, and she's got these kids. And I made a decision at that point that it was going to be about them as much as it possibly could be, and I don't regret a bit of it. I don't think you ever regret that. And I think I saw this somewhere. I don't know where I saw it in the video. Somebody said the greatest accomplishment or the biggest compliment you can get is that your kids as adults want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
And, I'm very lucky that I have Diane. Diane's a saint, so she has a great relationship. But the dad thing, being a pro football player and 2 sons playing pro football, there's a lot of there's that father-son angst. They're always being compared, and whether I want to be they want to be reminded of it. They're reminded all the time who their dad is, and I tried to be in the shadows as much as I possibly could be, and try to enjoy the ride. And I think we did as good a job as we could.
I want to go back to. I mean, you have done an unbelievable job. Your sons are great, and we love them. So I'd say you might be dad of the year, dad of the millennium, including manliest man on planet Earth. I wanted to go back.
I don't know about that.
I wanted to go back to a quick story about the lockout year. A little birdie told me that you're a good basketball player and you used to play in pickup games with the Lakers, who were pretty good at the time, if I remember. Is that true?
No. I'll tell you what it is. One, I did play. At that time there were no OTAs. We didn't have much of a weight room. Nutrition was a non-factor. Physical therapy, deep tissue, none of that. There was none of that. Basketball, like at Villanova, was my way of staying in shape and playing. And I played Manhattan Beach a lot. I played with the guys from Villanova, Eddie Pickney at one point. We had a court up here in Montana at our first house, a blacktop court. And I remember it was the Steve Kerr, Larry Kostoviak, Frank Bukowski, the brothers, the Barry brothers were up there. We would have pickup games up there. Occasionally you'd see I don't remember playing against, anybody that was of any consequence in the NBA, but in LA. But up in Montana, every year there was a party up here on the 4th of July for all those guys, and the basketball group all got together, and we'd play pickup games over at my house on the lake.
So what's your game like? Is it a football player playing basketball, or do you have a real basketball game? Because you know what it looks like when a football player plays basketball.
Yeah, I would say no left, because my shoulder I had it replaced a few years ago. I mean, that didn't go up above my, it was like, it stops. So left hand wasn't great. Enjoyed running. I could run. And that was the thing that, and I always told the boys, I said, if you get an opportunity to run, show somebody you can run, even when you're big like Kyle, run. And Kyle's like the tiger at the zoo. The tiger's laying there on the ground, and it's cool, and it's big. And then all of a sudden it gets up and takes off and runs 10 yards and jumps over a 10-foot wall.
Yeah.
You got to show people that you can do that. And all you wanted to do is compete, whether that's playing defense or, what your role is. I love playing basketball. I couldn't imagine being paid to play basketball.
Yeah.
That would be so much fun. And now I can't, with all the surgeries, I can't play basketball anymore.
Yeah. What about your audition for Fox NFL Sunday for that show? Because we love the show, right? It seems like you guys get along really well, watching the relationships between you guys develop over the years. It's been a big part of a lot of people's football watching experience, but I'm curious, what was it like when they're starting the show and you're auditioning for it?
It was, I had gone, well, you have to let's set the table, and not knowing this at the time. David Hill came over from Australia and England and, Sky TV, and, he'd done everything there was to do in Europe, and Rupert tagged him to, create this Fox Sports out of nothing and hire everyone. And the pregame shows at that point were half hour. And the thought of doing a 1 hour long pregame show, people were saying, you're crazy. What could you do in an hour? And an hour, as you know, flies by. It just, with commercials and everything else, just flies by. And no one told me what they wanted at the time. They were just running people in and, doing it. And I thought they wanted like Bob Costas. And I did every conceivable research, pinpoints on games, watched a million games. It was a hypothetical week. And I spoke to I literally spoke to the commissioner. I spoke to multiple coaches. I spoke to, and I had a stack of papers this big. And what he'd seen me doing an interview like this. And where he saw that, local news or whatever. Or I did HBO Inside the NFL, and I had my own segment where you literally ran the prompter with a scroll. You wrote it on a scroll.
Mm-hmm.
Honest to God, you wrote it on a scroll, and you had your hand down here hitting the button to start the prompter. And that was kind of my first experience with doing something from a national standpoint. So I go in there, and I'm buttoned up, I'm stiff, I'm doing the kind of prototypical. David Hill wanted a show that probably like your show, where it's two guys sitting around having a conversation in a family room, and until it gets to that point where you actually feel that way, you're not capturing the essence of what he wanted. And it, Terry was very helpful with that. Day one wasn't good. Day two was better. And they wanted a defensive player. They wanted an offensive player, quarterback. They wanted a head coach. And that was what they cast. So it wasn't a great audition from what I gather. And David Hill reminds me of that all the time. But I said, well, you 30 years later, you did something right.
Yeah.
How long into the show until Terry said something just outrageous that really popped that balloon, that really made everybody seem like, I have to imagine that he's the one that kind of made everybody comfortable and went off script or went off on a weird tangent, maybe mispronounced the word cat. I don't know.
No, let me say this, and and you're a classic example of this. He's got that jed clamp. He's got that jed clamp that I'm going out to the cement pond to do my gazintas down pat.
Mm-hmm.
He's rode that thing all the way to a bank account that, trust me, he's one of the smartest people I know. Truly, he really, really is. He's brilliant. When you turn on the light, regardless of what's happened during the week, the issues that he's had over the last 2 years. And, the last 2 years, him dealing with the medical issues that he's had, people didn't realize how challenging and difficult it was, and what a challenge it was for him to be on air and be, sharp and coherent and, and all that. He's a brilliant guy, but trust me, we're not a rehearsal show. We do our show live. We don't rehearse. And the reactions when he says things are so genuine, because it's like, oh my God, did he just say that? He's kind of the white Charles Barkley.
Yeah, it makes the show.
Yeah, it really does. I've always said that. I think Terry, God bless him. It's 30 years. We've been together 30 years. And, early on there were, we couldn't be any more different. I'm from Boston. He's from Freeport. He's Baptist. I grew up Catholic. Villanova, Louisiana Tech, quarterback, defensive lineman, Steeler, Raider. We couldn't be any more different, but he's like the older brother I could have never imagined having.
Yeah.
It's a great relationship.
Yeah. We want to talk a little ball about this year. I'm sure you've done some prep. What is a team?
A little bit.
Yeah. What's a team that you've got circled that you're like, okay, this is a team that could surprise some people that maybe people aren't, looking at, not a Chiefs or, an Eagles, but a team that you're like, I like what they're building and I could see something. This might be the year they take the next step.
I think there's it's interesting because I looked at it from that perspective last night. I was sitting here late last night and I said, look, Kansas City, Philadelphia, Buffalo, Cincinnati, San Francisco, Baltimore, Dallas, Chargers. Jets are they real? Is it, a mirage? I don't know, but it's going to be fun to watch. I would say teams like, and I'm not sure if the Seahawks are a surprise team, but I kind of love what they've done there, what the GM and the head coach have done there again.
Yeah.
You know, they had kind of a little bit of a gap there where they got off track, and you know, maybe they didn't hit on the draft picks that they usually hit on, particularly with mid-round picks. And you know, you certainly want to hit on a quarterback, and I think the quarterback for them at this point, and I think he really had a great year last year. He's a bridge to you know, whoever that is down the road, whether it's through the draft or free agent, whatever it is. But they're a team that I like. Jaguars, I think, are going to be a team that, you know, I remember that game down there in the playoffs, and we were at a dinner that, you know, Jimmy was talking about maybe retiring, so we didn't get to see a lot of it. And I went back and looked at it again, and I like what they're doing down there. I like Doug. I think Doug brings a calm, particularly to the quarterback room, and I think that's, if you've got a quarterback, you have to have somebody, and you know, whether it's in Detroit with their offensive coordinator, and I like what Detroit does, and you know, the head coach he's great. He's great TV. He's a great listen. You know, I can relate to him. I think Russell is, you know, I coached against Russell in high school. So, you know, I've seen him for a long time. He's been the guy you see over the last 10 years is the same guy he was in college, same guy he was in high school. You know, he was one of those guys that was 20 when he was 12, you know, just mature. I remember he was throwing a football because Kyle and him played baseball against each other. They both got drafted in Major League Baseball. And I was in a parking lot in Richmond, and I was throwing a football with him. And he's a 13, 14-year-old kid. And I called University of Virginia, and I said, there's a 13, 14-year-old kid down here in Richmond that throws the ball better than anybody you have on the team.
Jeez.
Now,
Yeah.
I said, you need to, you know, offer this kid. That was before. You never went off prototype.
The size,
you know,
yeah.
Whether it's Bill Parcells or, you know, you fill in the blank, any great team at that point, or any great GM or head coach, I want 6'4", I want 225, I want, you know, big arm, I want some athleticism, but I want a pocket quarterback. And, you know, Russell is a guy that I think needed Sean Payton to come in. I think you always have to have a friend. I don't know if you do. You know, I had friends. Bill Pickel was a good teammate of mine, Queens, New York guy. And, you know, Diane certainly, you know, would be someone who would say to me, you know what, you're acting like a horse's ass. You know, come on, dial it back. Let's get back on who you are and what you're about. And, you know, let's get the train back on the tracks. I thought Russell got big, not because Russell was out of shape.
Right.
Russell maybe just lifted too much. Russell's not out of shape. He's never going to be out of shape. To say that Russell fell off a cliff in 1 year he had some injuries, you know, let's factor that in. The offensive line was bad. The running back went down. You know, there were built-in excuses, but you have to be able to read the room, particularly as that guy. That guy has to be kind of the barometer for the team. He sets the pace. He sets the agenda. And I think Sean is the guy that'll come in and he's not afraid to tell you, you know, the office thing, we're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
The coach that you have, you know, in the office looking at film, making suggestions, no, we're not doing that. We're going to get back to the basics. We're going to get back to run the football. We're going to make the offensive line better. We're going to get back to doing the things and tailor the offense to a version of what Sean's run down in New Orleans and adapt it to Russell. And that defense, what did they give up? 16 points a game?
Yeah, they were awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
You give up 16 points a game in the NFL, you should be winning some football games. Now, they lost some close games. Denver could be, you know, I think Russell's going to be better. I love Sean Payton. Sean Payton, you know, look, Sean Payton can talk the bark off a tree. You know, he loves football and loves talking every single play. And, you know, sitting in the green room with him was, you know, I've had a great luxury of being next to Jimmy Johnson for all these years, and it's like, the Einstein of football and how to build a football team and how to manage people and the whole thing. He's sitting, 2 seats down from me for almost 30 years. He took 3 years off to coach Miami. Sean was a different perspective and a different way to look at it, which I think was really good for me, at least. I enjoyed hearing that, and I think he's going to be great for Russell.
And you've got a new colleague, friend of ours, Julian Edelman, joining Fox.
Yeah.
I hope
Chris
you're
loves
ready
him.
because he's probably listening to this right now, actually. You have to be ready to just beat all the Patriots homerisms out of him because he's going to be like a PR person for the New England Patriots on set. You have to be ready to be like, Julian, you're not calling it straight. You got Bill in your ear.
Bill, the art of being a producer on a show and Bill has mastered it. It's a one word kind of pop in your ear, which is great. I don't need somebody, nobody does. Nobody needs someone barking in their ear. Bill does a great job of it. Julian, listen, when you've won as much as he's won and you've won as many Super Bowls as he's won, God bless him. Knock yourself out. You want to puff your chest out, you certainly can do that. I mean, Terry's won 4. He went to 4, won 4, was 2-time MVP. Those Steelers, I think, won 4 in 6 years. So I'm used to it. I'm used to, everyone on that set has a reason to peacock up.
Yeah.
And I think he'll fit right in. He seems like a really, really good guy.
I had one last question. It's a rollback question. This has been great, by the way. We'd love to have you on anytime you want to talk ball. You are a guest we've circled for a very long time. The rollback question, RHOBACK.com. Use promo code TAKE. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, all at rollback.com. The most comfortable clothes out there. I have another
my favorite sweatshirt.
Oh, there you go. I mean, you look good. You look good in everything. You have.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, you do. You do.
Chisel
draw.
I'm a 9 iron. I look good from about 120 out.
I don't know them. We're drivers.
Yeah.
I'm Rory McIlroy's driver.
I'm a potato gun.
340. I need 340 to look good.
Exits up.
I'm a howitzer.
Yes. So the other little birdie note I got, you are a big boater. You boat a lot. You're out in Montana. You also rescue a lot of people with your boat. How many people have you rescued in your life with your boat? This is I can't imagine like being in distress, whether you run out of gas or whatever, and having Howie Long come and rescue you. That's got to be the coolest feeling in the world.
I don't know if when you're in peril in the water and you're, whether it's your sail boat or whatever is capsized and, you're scrambling to kind of, one, stay on the boat and hope the boat doesn't sink, or people are broke down and you've got to pull them in. It's Montana. It's a 28 mile long lake, and it's 15 miles wide at the widest point. And like in Chicago, that lake can, it can act like an ocean real quick. And, we've certainly bailed some people out, but you know what? I would hope that if my wife was out there on a boat and I was on the road, that somebody would do the same thing. I mean, it's like, we used to do that. I remember when you used to drive down the road and somebody was on the side of the road, you say to yourself, should I pick this person up? Nowadays you're inclined not to do it because you don't feel safe, because I don't know whether it's the news or the volume of news where you're just afraid to do things like that. But somebody's out in the water that's yelling for help. I'll hop in my boat in a heartbeat.
So how many, what's the number? What's the number of rescues you've done?
I'd say over the years. What do you think, Di? How many times have we rescued people? Over 15, she
Holy
said.
Wow.
shit, that's incredible.
You're a saint.
You're
I'll tell you,
you're a superhero. You're a real life superhero.
No, please. There's a lot of people in this lake who've done the same thing. We sold our old boat. Our original boat was a 22-foot Cobalt, and we now have a 28-foot because with the grandkids and everything, we wanted to be safer. And if we got caught up in Big Fork with a storm, the ride back can be pretty rough. But our neighbor, who's a doctor, and he was just a sweetheart of a guy in our first house here, and he was out there by himself in our 22-foot Cobalt, and he was at the deepest point of the lake, which is 390, and it's right off the highway. A highway meaning 2-lane road that bumps up to the mountains. So the mountains are on one side of the highway and the lake's on the other. So I could throw a baseball from the road into the mountain or into the lake. So he's probably 1.5 miles, 2 miles into the lake. He's fishing. He's kind of trolling, and his rod falls over. He goes over to grab it. He's 64 years old at the time, maybe. He falls out of the boat. Now the boat kind of goes away from him, and he's in the middle of the boat with jeans on, T-shirt. He's got the rod in his hand. He gives up the rod, obviously. At some point, he took his jeans off because it's extra weight. He's got to make it to that highway where the rocks are, and you got to climb up on the highway. So now the question for you as a good Samaritan driving down the road, are you stopping for the 63-year-old guy in your dad's white BVDs with blood running down his leg because he's climbed up the rocks and he's near dead?
Jesus.
That's the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who stopped for him. Somebody did stop for him. I don't know if I would have stopped if I didn't know it.
It's like Walter White in the first
Yeah.
episode of Breaking Bad up there. I have one last question, and you have to answer it honestly. You in your prime,
Okay.
Chris in his prime, Kyle in his prime, wrestling match, who wins?
Ooh, good question.
Kyle is, Chris and I would. Chris is hard to kill. He's one of those guys.
You've tried.
Seriously, you just have to kill him. I mean, that's the way to stop him. Kyle is frightening. When he puts hands on you, it's a different kind. It's like some people are. I'm heavy-handed. He's heavy-handed on a bigger. He's like, the Schwarzenegger movies. Where he's kind of a robot.
Terminator.
What was that? Terminator. I'm T1. He's like T4. He's the bigger. Listen, big truck. Terry's offensive line average 255. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Biggest offensive line in the league averaged 320. I was at the Hall of Fame game, and Kyle was playing the game, and I typically don't go down on the field when the boys are playing. I just try to avoid that. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to go down and watch my son warm up. So I'm watching him down there, and I'm in the end zone. The offensive line's down in the corner, as they always are. And he starts from the 20-yard line. He's walking toward me. And as he's walking toward me, you don't grasp. It's like NASCAR. I don't get NASCAR watching TV, right? Cars going around in a circle. You go to NASCAR and you get up on the fence and a car goes by 200 miles an hour. You get it then.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. As he's walking towards me, what's running through my head is, how the frick would I deal with that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, all you could do is play in your era. And all you could do is be as good as you can be in your era. And, very proud of the fact that, I was an all-decade player in the 80s and Reggie White was the other defensive end. And, very proud of that. You fast forward now, the biggest offensive line is 320 across the board.
Different game.
So anyone who says it's not, it's Clint Eastwood and Gran Torino saying, "Get off my lawn."
Yeah.
It's trust me, I have no problem saying that. It's bigger, it's stronger, it's faster.
Yeah.
And that's the way it is.
Yeah.
So you think Kyle? You're taking Kyle in
I
a
would
wrestling
take
match.
Kyle. Yeah.
I think Chris would take Kyle in a wrestling. Are you kidding me? your hope is that you can land some kind of, you see a boxing match where, it appeared to be a glazing shot at the head. So how did that knock him out? You pray you get something like that, because otherwise, and listen, you're in Chicago. I mean, I don't know if you've heard some of the stories about practice there, but he's had. So I've gotten some calls, at the end of the day where you beat 3 people up, in one practice, and they asked him to leave, and they suspended him for a preseason game. I mean, he's hard. He's the nicest guy in the world. He really is. He's a sweetheart. He was our sweetest kid. When the switch goes off, it's hard to bring back.
That's why we have him on our side. That's why we stay friends with him. It's good. He's a good guy to have
on your side. So is Chris. Chris is tough with a capital T and hard to kill.
Yeah.
You got to kill him. He's training. He trains every day with that mindset.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Still, I mean, he's down the gym here when he's up in Montana, and I watch him. I go, "What's he training for?" The same thing that all of us are training for. When you walk out your door, is there a guy in the bushes that's been waiting to kick your ass if you're limping a little bit? You got to be ready.
You got to be ready to be hard to kill. Yeah, I love it. Well, Howie, thank you so much. This really has been a pleasure. We'd love to have you back on anytime. Good luck. Year 30, incredible achievement, especially when you think about media business. Guys come and go,
Right.
and year 30, it's really, I would say being year 30 in the media business is probably harder than playing over a decade in the NFL just because of how the change happens. So both accomplishments incredible, and thanks so much for your time.
Well, I appreciate you guys. A lot of people listen to your show and love what you guys do, and certainly my family does too. And so I've heard a lot about you guys. Don't know a lot about it, but between Kyle and Chris and everybody else, they've kind of let me know how great you guys are. Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah,
Awesome.
thank you.
Thanks so much.
Howie Long was brought to you by Cars.com. Wherever life takes you next and whoever you're looking to be, there's a car for that on Cars.com. I did a little bit of research over the weekend, found some sick El Caminos on Cars.com. I'm probably going to be getting an El Camino soon. Can't wait for that. Shout out Cars.com. Maybe you're expanding your family. Maybe you want a safer option. Maybe you're moving from the burbs to the city, so you want a smaller, sportier car. Maybe you've taken up snowboarding. You need more cargo space for the gear. No matter what it is, they have deal badges that identify the best deals on Cars.com, and they have quick and easy ways to sell or trade in your car. Over 2 million cars for 2 million possibilities to meet your changing needs. Up to 50,000 cars are added daily to Cars.com, so you know that you're going to find a car that you will love, like my future El Camino. Can't wait to get it on Cars.com. Find your next possibility on Cars.com. Where to next?
Okay, time for Mount Rushmore. It is tight. What is the rankings right now?
Big Cat and PFT 30, Jake and Billy 28, Hank and Max 27, with 9 total points left on the board this week.
Wow.
Okay, 9 total
So
points.
this is it. This is the finale of Mount Rushmore season. This week will be the last 3, and then someone will be in a 24-hour stream with their partner for all of us to watch, narrate.
So what happens if there's a tie?
Yeah, we should probably figure that
A
out.
tie for last place. Are we going 12 and 12?
Oh, man. No, we got to figure out some kind of competition for last place tie, right? I mean, is it just a mano-y-mano Mount Rushmore on the Tuesday after Labor Day?
3-point shootout.
I think it has to be a Mount Rushmore, right? We have to decide it with a Mount Rushmore. Maybe if it's a two-team tie,
What if we did one Mount Flushmore?
ooh.
Because it's not Mount Rushmore season anymore.
2 point tie for last. Yeah, I mean Tuesday, Wednesday. Technically, it's NFL season. Maybe it's two Mount Rushmore head to head, and then the 2 guys who won and memes get to vote on air who won and lost the Mount Rushmore.
No, absolutely not.
Why?
No.
Okay. All right. So then we put it up to the.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we stick with the formula.
Okay. All right. Wow. That was shut down fast. What?
Well, there's a lot of room for hanky lanky if we get other votes.
That's
involved.
true. That's true. Okay, so if there's a tie, it's a Mount Rushmore to win it all on Tuesday after Labor Day. That's fair.
Types of water.
Between the two teams.
Types of water. We've never done that before.
Between the two teams. And then the winners are allowed to denigrate during the Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. This has been a good Mount Rushmore season.
Yeah, I
Some
mean,
great moments.
it is what it is. I'm focused on the future. I'm ready to go as hard as I can this week. Last Sunday, doing 3 on Sunday was.
Yeah, you kept on saying that. Hank was like, "You guys screwed me. You guys screwed me."
Well, I screwed myself. I was.
Oh,
a
you
little
were hungover, that's right.
Just my brain was not firing on any level, and you can get away with that in one game. It's
So-
kind of like, you think you're a reliever. You just, I'm a little hungover. I might have to pitch an inning, and then they're like, "No, buddy, you're on the bump starting."
Triple header, yeah. So when you were gone for vacation, Max cooked. Max is gone for vacation.
I'm
Are
ready.
you cooking?
I am buzzing. Haven't had a sip of alcohol this
Have
weekend.
you? That's a lie. Have you?
I haven't. Ask Jake. We did sober golf all weekend.
Well, I always do sober. But yeah.
Wait, but you didn't drink Friday or Saturday night?
Friday, but that's a weekday. Friday's a weekday.
No,
Well,
Friday,
past midnight.
Friday night is a weekend.
Friday day is a weekday.
Friday.
Wait, were you
Weekend.
drinking during the day?
What are the weekend days?
Friday night.
When's the weekend?
Friday night is a weekend night.
Friday night is 100% a
But
weekend
Hank,
night.
also
Friday
you're-
after 5
you're
is the
sa-
weekend.
You're saying that you drank on Friday night. Did you stop drinking at midnight?
Definitely not.
Possibly. I was an early night.
Also, Friday after 5 is literally the weekend. That's when the weekend starts.
No, the weekend's at midnight on Friday.
No,
'cause
it's
that's-
not.
Friday's
No.
a weekday.
All right, so then
and
you
it
got to
ends
start
at
working
midnight.
until midnight.
I've told you. It's all September.
Friday at 5. It's like the best time of the week.
That's the afternoon.
Friday at 5 is when the weekend starts. This is insane.
The week is Monday to Friday. So the week would end when Friday
No,
ends.
the week ends when you leave work on Friday.
Friday night is a weekend night.
Yes, 100%. This is insane. You're just
We're doing the bodybuilder
This is
forum right
insane.
now. How many days in a week?
5 or 7. No, I'm saying how many days in a weekday? There's
How many
5
days in a
weekdays.
weekday?
How could there be 5 weekdays, 3 weekends, and 7 days?
What?
Because Sunday night is not a weekend night. Sunday night's a school night.
That's a school,
School
night.
night, yeah.
He's right.
No,
This
it's
is
not.
tonight's a
Yes,
school
he
night.
is. Tonight's
Sunday
school
night is a weekend night.
No, it's not.
no,
You're an
it's
idiot.
not.
You're a moron.
You want to put up a poll?
No, I know my.
What's more of a weekend
Yeah, I
night?
know my
Friday
body.
night
No,
or
it's
Sunday
not.
night?
We're not going off. I'm going off technicality.
But that technically
Sunday night is not a weekend night. Sunday night's the school night.
correct. Friday night is a weekend night.
Not in my book.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So we're up 2
Hank and Max.
on the second place, and then
Oh,
1.
yeah.
So 30, 28, 27.
Yeah.
Who's in last?
Hank and Max currently.
Okay. We got a lot of cooking we got to do.
Hank
Yeah.
and Max. Big
I
Cotton
sent
PFT,
Max
us.
a lot of notes. I was trying to listen in. I was really active. Max today has texted me cook and texted me a name for thing that's not an animal.
Okay.
It's an animal.
Was Billy involved in this, Jake?
Yeah.
Do the Billy strategy.
Was memes involved? That's all I need to
No.
know. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
No.
Do the Billy strategy. You said Billy has a
Because
strategy.
that was the other thing. I was playing hurt, and Jake was playing with a buff because there was no Billy and he had memes. It was.
I'm also worried I misunderstood this assignment, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, Jake, if you're looking for a fictional animal, you could take the eagle that you got today. Allegedly.
Hank was right there.
I was. It was impressive.
But yeah.
All right. So what's the order?
Hank and Max, Big Cat and PFT.
Same order every week.
I
and
still
Billy.
don't remember it. You don't fucking know when a weekend night is.
It's not the
Mr.
same order every time.
Saturday and Sunday.
Okay. Shut up! You're making me mad.
If you say I don't work on the weekends, what day is that?
Friday night. Friday night, you don't work. Friday, you are such a liar.
So is
This is all stemming from the fact that you got hammered on Friday night. And you're trying to
wanted to
backtrack and
say
be
that
like,
you-
I didn't
you
drink it all.
weekend.
I didn't.
Okay. All right. What's the order?
Hank and Max.
Yeah.
Big Cat and PFT.
Okay.
Us.
All right.
Don't bang on the table.
Don't bang on the table. Yeah.
Cook, Hank.
That was my.
Come on,
bad.
Hank. Come on, Hank.
We're gonna go 1-1. Probably the biggest animal franchise of all time. The ringleader of it all, Bugs Bunny.
Okay.
Okay. Good pick.
Bugs Bunny. Great.
That's all, folks.
Yeah, that wasn't our 1-1.
Don't care. Didn't ask.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
It's a good pick.
It was a good pick. Should we go our 1-1?
Yeah, let's go 1-1.
Yeah, Brian from Family Guy.
Great dog.
Great dog.
Very
Brian
all-time dog.
was on the list.
Yeah.
All-time dog. What? Tell me what Bugs Bunny. What's your favorite Bugs Bunny moment?
Probably when they beat the Monstars.
Oh, okay.
Sure, you're a
Would
late
you guys
model
like
Bugs
Brian
Bunny
Watching
from
him
fan.
Family?
raise up Lola really taught me a lot in my youth.
Okay.
Would you guys like Brian from Family Guy
When
or
he ate-
Brian
when he
Griffin?
ate the carrot,
Brian from Family Guy.
Brian from Family Guy.
when he would stump Elmer Fudd over and
That
over again.
there's the answer. That's the correct answer. You should have gone with that one.
The goat is duck season, rabbit season. That's the best.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Good pick. Do you want to say anything about ours? You don't want to say.
I
anything
like
about
yours.
Thanks,
Thank
Jake.
you.
The talking dog.
Very cool.
Ours? Is it fucking
I would
best.
have. We would have taken him if you guys didn't.
Uh huh.
Love that, Jake. Love that from you.
Thanks. Speaking of dogs, we're gonna go with Scooby Doo.
Okay. Good
Solves
pick.
mysteries.
Yeah,
Good
solves
pick.
mysteries. And he's all-time good vibes guy.
Great Dane. Yeah.
And better,
those-
it's actual. It's kind of a dog. Like he can speak, kind of not speak. Brian's. It's really not believable.
What do you? It's a
Scoop-
fucking dog, dude.
No,
These are-
Scooby doesn't really talk. He just is like, woo.
Knows you go Scooby Doo Doo.
Right,
Yeah.
but that's how dogs are. It's like you can kind of speak to them, but you can't.
You don't like Brian from Family Guy?
No,
Is
I
it-
just. I'm not. I'm
Do you
not
know-
gonna
Wait,
denigrate.
so bunnies talk?
All right, next picture.
Oh no!
Do you know?
hey.
Do you know any dog that kind of talks?
Every dog.
Yeah. Do you know any bunnies that kind of talk?
Yeah, I watched a video today. Girl was shaking her head, and the bunny responded. by
That's not
shaking her
talking.
head.
She talk?
That's
Did
not
the bunny
talking.
talk?
Sign language.
That's not talking.
I respect all languages.
All right. Next, we're gonna go with Patrick Star.
Okay.
Okay. He's
What
starfish,
is
I
he?
guess. Yeah.
Patrick's awesome.
Oh yeah, no,
He's
no. What is
stupid.
he? What
From
what's his
SpongeBob.
He's a
name?
starfish.
Oh, okay. What's SpongeBob?
He's just a sponge.
Sponge.
Oh,
But I don't think he's.
He's not an animal.
I don't think he's an animal.
okay.
You want to take our second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Beasts.
I love them.
Do you have to
My
pick one?
favorite.
What's the rule?
Yeah.
We got to pick one.
Do we? Why?
I mean,
Is it fictional animals or
You-
fictional?
you take the
Yeah,
Looney
it
Tunes.
But I
actually
mean,
is
they're-
fictional
you take the Looney
animals.
Tunes. There's
no,
all of them.
No, but I mean,
It's
they're all
fictional
they're all
animals.
they are all Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're the same. They're brothers.
Oh, so you value them all the same?
Yeah,
You
I
have a
do.
favorite?
I respect all of them.
Equally.
Yeah.
Fictional. PFT said I vote fictional animals.
Those are fictional animals.
What are your technicalities? Do you not want us to take the Hall of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
No, it's not fair, but sure.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Let's do fair. We'll do fairness. Okay.
Should we take one of them?
Yeah, we can take your guy,
Michelangelo.
Michelangelo, the party
dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pizza.
Cowabunga.
Pizza all the time.
Yeah.
Is that okay with you?
That's the best turtle.
Say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles parenthesis Michelangelo.
I'm a Raphael guy myself. but
Reverse Michelangelo,
I can
parentheses,
understand is
TMNT.
the number one guy.
TMNT parentheses Michelangelo.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hank?
Hank and Max.
I think Hank's regretting his first pick.
I'm regretting a lot of things. I'm gonna be in this room. Snoopy.
Snoopy,
He's a
classic,
classic. Yeah.
classic.
What's your
Iconic.
favorite? What's your
Good
favorite
pick.
Peanuts cartoon?
Probably Thanksgiving.
Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yeah.
When Lucy holds it for Charlie Brown.
No, yeah, that's not. That's
Snoopy doesn't go to school.
Snoopy just sleeps on the fucking shed, dude.
Yeah.
With Woodstock, the bird.
Yeah, Snoopy's a good pick though.
He is
Snoopy's
good.
a good pick.
He's a good dancer.
Yeah.
Good vibes guy.
Yeah. Oh man. So
I mean-
you've gone Bugs Bunny and Snoopy.
We're just going iconic.
You've locked up the
We're going-
60-year-old vote.
Yeah, no, and we're gonna. I think that, I don't.
Your dad's gonna listen to this and be like, get him, Hank.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my boy.
You're gonna go Mr. Ed next?
No, but sticking with the theme, we're gonna go with Winnie the Pooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Good pick. Winnie the Pooh's a classic.
I like his ride at Magic Kingdom.
Eeyore is kind of, I like Eeyore, but yeah.
Big
Winnie the
bummer.
Pooh,
Would, yeah.
What? What's that?
It's more your style.
Eeyore.
And Winnie the Pooh just doesn't wear pants. Respect that.
Oh, PFT, we have our fucking board open.
Yeah, I think we go
I
five.
think you guys
yeah,
have
they go
always
five.
had your board.
You wanna go
No,
five?
we thought Brian from Family Guy would get picked
Yep.
right away. Yeah, let's go 5. Air Bud.
Real.
The goat.
Got him on the list. It's a real dog. They used him. in the movies.
It's a fictional animal, though, Jake.
no.
Do you think he
Buddy
plays
is
basketball?
Yes. Look it up. I looked it up on the Wikipedia.
Yeah, but no.
Yes,
Jake
no,
just
no,
looked
no.
up
It was on our list.
No,
Yes,
Jake.
Jake.
No, this is why this is bullshit. Air Bud is the character that the dog plays.
Then dog's name is Buddy.
Did it happen?
It's
Did
not
the
Air
story
Bud.
happen?
The story?
Yeah, was that a real thing that happened where a dog was like, "Oh, there's no rule. This dog can't play
Playing
basketball."
basketball.
No, it's a fictional animal. Air Bud is a
It's a
fictional
real
I would have
animal.
taken my first two.
No, Air Bud is a fictional character.
It's
that
a
the
real
dog plays.
dog.
The dog is an incredible actor.
You don't think that Air Bud's a fictional animal?
It's entirely. I feel like I'm
It's
insane.
based on a true story.
Hank
that there's
doesn't
a
believe
clear
it's
dog
not
named
based on a
Buddy.
true story.
Hank doesn't believe this.
Jake
Hank-
easily. That was an obvious pick.
No, Hank's.
You didn't think of it.
I had it on the list.
So then you're fine with it.
I'm only mad
No,
at Jake
but I
here.
knew.
Hank is just.
I
playing
had it on
along.
the
I'm just
list, and
saying.
I also researched.
It would have been taken in our
No,
first
you did not.
two.
Yes,
you
I
did
did.
not research.
Well, Jake,
you did not research.
You need to figure out what fictional means, and you should have taken him first because that is Air Bud is the definition of a
Well,
fictional
Air Bud's
animal.
the name of a movie.
The
Off
dog.
of a dog named Buddy.
Yes, the
who was-
dog.
All right,
Air
I'll
Bud.
trade you. We'll take back Air Bud. You give us all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I think that's bullshit. That
I'm
they're
just
not
saying.
counting Air Bud.
I don't know if we can get a
understand
third
what-
party's
but you understand
opinion
what
here.
fictional means.
This is
right?
insane. It's insane that
The
you don't
dog
think that
didn't
Air Bud.
play basketball in a real life.
Yes,
It's
he
a
did.
real dog in the video.
So that means that any actual
actor,
like
yeah.
dog, like animal, doesn't count.
I haven't heard any other ones on the list.
Okay, we have other ones though.
Air Bud is entirely fictional. It's a movie about a dog that plays on a high school basketball
He-
team
he-
that didn't happen.
He
Don't
did
forget
the,
about football, PFT.
And
Yeah,
he plays
did-
football.
and
Hockey.
volleyball.
In hockey.
Yeah.
he
Pretty
did the
sure
Laker
hockey.
game halftime show in 1991.
I know that the dog is real.
So it's
but
based on a true story.
Air Bud is a fictional character that the dog plays in a movie.
Yeah, but the
Yeah, but,
dog
like, is
in the movie
Oppenheimer
was
a
the
fictional-
real
is-
dog.
Do you know how
Oppenheimer a
acting
fiction-
works, Jake?
All right, so is Oppenheimer a fictional scientist?
What?
No.
No.
But Cillian Murphy is just playing a
But
portrayal.
Air
of him.
Bud didn't actually play in
That's-
a fucking high school
He did the
basketball
halftime
game.
show at the Laker game.
It's not a real
Whatever, I don't
story.
care. It's fun.
Well, no.
Air
now,
Bud is a character. It's completely different
if you
from
guys
the dog.
don't want us to take it, we can't take it. But like, this is
I mean, personally,
you had him on your list and you didn't pick him.
I feel bad for Jake. He had him on the
Shut
top
up,
two.
Hank. Shut
Well,
the
Jake
fuck
just
up,
goes
Hank.
to fucking BuzzFeed for all these
No.
anyway.
Air Bud was the first one I thought of. It's
Why
a
didn't you
sports
pick
movie.
him? You
should've
thought we were
taken
going to
him,
say,
yeah.
"Oh, fictional, not fictional." You thought we were going to say that?
I probably would have.
All right.
So wait, what's the?
I stand by Air
I
Bud
think
as
Air
a
Bud
pick.
should
That's a
be
that's a
able to-
rock.
I
solid
stand by
pick.
Jake's research, but I guess that's just me.
But even with his research,
He did the halftime of a Lakers game.
do you understand that he's a
Hey,
character?
Hank's in rider mode right
he's
now.
a character in a fucking movie that plays a like he plays in a high school basketball game. Does he not?
Yeah.
And he plays on the high school football team. Air Bud,
Yeah,
defenseless
there's a bunch of
retriever.
them. There's a
Yeah.
whole series. It's a great,
Right.
it's a great series.
So that is fiction.
Yeah.
You understand that part? Like
Yeah,
it's
the
a fictional
movie
thing.
he stars in
documentary.
is fiction, but his
He's
skill
a,
and
so
the
that would
dog
make
is
him
real.
a fictional character.
I mean, it's a real dog. Like, it's Buddy. But it's fine.
Memes, can we get a vote?
I'm so confused by this entire conversation.
Give us a
Is
vote,
Air
memes.
Bud a fictional character?
Look,
or
we got
not?
memes, Evan and Shane here. I trust they can vote.
Air Bud's a fictional character.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Unless there's a dog that was playing varsity ball.
Yeah.
Right.
But he did do the halftime show at the Lakers.
Yeah, no, Jake just doesn't understand what fiction means.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was so mad at Hank just for
Oh.
I knew what you
I
were doing,
stand by
Hank.
He's on
it.
his
It's
troll
a real thing. And that might be the difference.
If you had picked it, none of us would have said this.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
realize
I was
that,
literally debating
right?
him or Winnie the Pooh, but then I was like, I'll stick with the classics.
Yeah. We would never have said a word. You thought you thought like you had your big trump card.
I was pumped.
Yeah. All right. I lost the vote.
I tried.
Okay. Next pick. he was just like going through all this research for this big moment to try to get us with Air Bud.
But what you
You could
guys
have just
I'll
taken
just-
him.
what you guys
yeah,
don't
you
know
could
is
have
that
just taken him.
the dog
But then I would have broken my own rule of.
But no, none of
I
us.
don't
We would have.
care.
You know what? If you
I-
had taken Air Bud, we would have said good pick. We had him.
what you're not
Broken
getting
your
your
own
big
rule of
cat.
picking
all
fictional
have.
characters in a fictional draft.
What you're not
Well-
getting is that the dog is a real dog.
He existed.
Yeah.
Is he dead?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Was he in every?
1998.
Fuck.
Was he in every single movie?
I think so.
What I mean, it fell off a little bit. The football one slapped, and then I think volleyball's when it started to get a little unrealistic.
Wait, didn't he play hockey?
They also did MXP. They did
Oh yes,
the
that was terrible too. Yeah,
chimpanzee who did snowboarding.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
most extreme primate. Yeah, they should do one where Air Bud joins the military. That'd be
No,
awesome.
he wasn't in every single one. They had a bunch of direct-to-video ones that he did not star in.
Air Bud joins the military and comes back
what
home,
are
and
the
then
other
and then
ones?
his dog greets him at the door.
There's Airbud World Pup, Airbud 7th Inning Fetch, Airbud Spikes Back.
That was
That's
the one.
volleyball. Snow Buddies, Space Buddies, Santa Buddies, Spooky Buddies, Treasure Buddies.
sounds like he retired.
Just cashed in. Yeah.
Airbud. Yeah, he was on America's Funniest Home Videos.
Were all the buddies? Were those his offspring?
Yeah, I believe that was a storyline. I think in like the fourth or fifth one, he had offspring.
Oh, but in
that might have been the volleyball
But
one.
Hank, in real life, were they his offspring?
Well, it's a documentary.
So I was going to say that would be proof that he's playing a character.
Yeah, I thought you guys were gonna, take Jake for his word, but
Okay.
Jake just doesn't understand fiction.
No,
he
I-
doesn't. It's okay,
Whatever.
Jake. You don't
Whatever.
understand
Whatever.
fiction. That's all right.
Whatever. Anyways,
He actually was only in Airbud.
right.
So he wasn't even in the second one. He wasn't even in.
So you're taking Airbud parentheses defenseless retriever.
No,
and Spikes Back and Golden Receiver.
no, that's just it's proof. It's
Oh,
like
golden receiver. That's what it was
Yeah.
called.
it's like James Bond. Multiple dogs can play it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna
great
go.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
We're gonna go with Pikachu,
Okay.
mouse-like creature.
What? Okay.
I'm going to
We don't
allow
know
Pikachu.
what it
yeah.
is.
It's a fictional animal.
It's an animal.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good value for this round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, Jake.
Thanks. And we're gonna end with the classic, Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
That's
Good
a Mickey
one.
Mouse.
Mickey
pick.
Mouse in the last round is, no matter what you say about him,
Yeah.
it's like when they took LeBron.
Are you
Like,
familiar?
people hate on it, but
Jake, are you familiar with the origin of Mickey Mouse?
I'm not. No.
Pretty racist.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Actually,
problematic.
very racist. Look up the
Extremely.
cartoon Steamboat Willie. You just took
You
a racist
stand with
mouse.
that. Wow.
I mean, you guys took Kanye
Well,
1-1.
Yeah, that was a great pick.
It was an awesome pick.
You guys
yeah.
lost
Fucking,
that
those
one.
albums were incredible.
Yeah, listen, Walt Disney was also a virulent anti-Semite, Jake. Just
Yeah,
so
we
you know.
also. Yeah, I mean, people pointed out after the fact that what was the one we tried to take that was Toy Story, that we couldn't take Toy Story as a trilogy, and you had Star Wars that has like 17 movies.
Well, we discussed this.
right, I know, but that people
Yeah.
pointed out that was
Yeah.
bullshit. I didn't, but people did.
Okay.
People did.
Yeah.
Okay, PFT. Wow, we got our board open.
We do. I like 7, 8, 9, 10,
Ooh.
and then on the secondary list,
We have a secondary list.
I like number 8 on the secondary list, but
Oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Lola Bunny,
Yep.
the first one,
Non-nerfed version.
non-nerfed when she still had that ass.
Yeah. So
Lola
hot.
Bunny parentheses first version.
First version.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the hot version.
That-
No,
yeah,
parentheses hot
the
version.
hot version,
Yeah.
the one that gave everybody boners.
Yes.
No,
No,
Prince.
yes, because
parentheses.
there's
There's
they
2
nerfed
Lola
her.
Bunnies.
They took away her tits
It's
and ass.
Air Bud. You can't have Air Bud. Then if you're gonna parenthesize that, you have to parenthesize Air Buds.
No, it's two
There's
dis-
multiple
no,
Air
it's-
Buds. There's multiple
I
Lola
want
Bunnies.
parentheses on all of our picks.
It's 2 distinct Lola Bunny.
Our pick should be Lola Bunny, hot one.
No.
Air
You
Bud,
can have the- you-
Air Bud, parentheses fictional character. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, parentheses Michelangelo.
No.
Yeah.
Brian from Family Guy, parentheses great pick.
Tell you what, Hank, I'll take Lola Bunny parentheses the hot one if you take Lola Bunny parentheses the ugly one.
All right, fine, Little Bunny. But I mean, people know we're talking about the hot one.
Put,
Can we do parentheses first version?
Lola Bunny parentheses 1990. What was that? 97.
Yeah.
96.
No,
Whenever
there's a lot of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too. You want the live action Teenage Mutant?
I want
Ninja
all of
Turtles,
them.
Michelangelo.
Yeah, we got all of them.
All right, so you get Michelangelo live action version.
No.
So first version.
No.
of Lola
All right,
Bunny,
fine.
yeah.
No,
Lola,
we won't.
just
We
Lola.
won't. We won't.
Okay.
We'll just take Little Bunny.
They'll
That's
know.
fine.
They'll know what we meant.
Hank, this is great because this is what The reason why this
We're
is getting
arguing
contentious,
over the dumbest
we're
stuff.
very no one wants to be in this box.
I think we're gonna be in the box. I think last
we
week
might be.
fucked us. I think this was a bad draft.
Oh, you mean us? We fucked you because we made you drink.
Yeah.
You had a partner.
But listen, you didn't drink at all this weekend. So
Yeah,
you're
Yeah.
good. You're
You want to
fresh.
know what Max sent me?
No, what do you?
Jessica Rabbit. That's not our pick.
Who is that?
It's not a real
That's a
character. It's
good
not even.
pick.
It's not a fictional animal.
That's not an animal.
Yeah.
Well, I guess humans are animals.
Was she part animal?
I guess she was maybe
No.
part.
I think she was part animal.
I don't think so.
Her last name was Rabbit. That's very confusing.
Yeah, that
She
is
married a
confusing.
rabbit.
Oh,
got it. Took the last name.
Not a very boss woman.
No.
So we're just gonna hope and pray that the classics take us to victory here.
Wait, Garfield?
No.
Oh, you might take Garfield now. You didn't think about what was on your list. You didn't even have Garfield on your list.
I had no help.
Do you want us to help you?
No.
We'll give you a pick.
No.
Okay.
Kermit the Frog.
Okay.
Okay.
You did
Just
go
classics.
classics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I hate it. I think that was a good draft by you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You never know though.
So I guess the drinking thing turns out science proven wrong on that.
You should drink
You
more.
drank on Friday?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
no.
Like I thought that was gonna help me make better picks. It didn't.
Max let
Yeah.
you down. What was Billy's strategy?
So Billy said, if it's a children's cartoon, take it off low key. They're kind of lame. We got to choose badass ones.
Wait,
Like
that was his strategy?
He said, because I sent him the list that I had, and he said the dog from I Am Legend, the dog from Sandlot, and Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine
Yeah.
Bear.
Actually, not fictional.
Yeah.
Oh,
was a real bear.
I wasn't considering taking it, but
Yeah.
he didn't
He
want
wanted
to
to
take.
go badass.
We also
thought-
had Hercules on our list
I
from
said
Sandlot.
the
Yeah.
majority of fictional animals are kid friendly.
I had
Yeah.
Free Willy.
Bluey.
Yeah.
Blue's Clues.
Yep.
Is Elmo an animal?
No,
I think
he's like
Elmo's just a monster,
He's a
I think.
monster.
Oh, okay.
Big Bird.
Jaws.
Barney.
Barney was good. That's a good pick.
Scary.
King Kong. Yeah, we had King Kong, Godzilla, Jaws. Taz. Taz is a great one. I don't even know what kind of
Tasmanian
animal
Devil.
it is. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
You remember Joe Camel? The
Yep.
cartoon camel that sold cigarettes to kids?
Very cool.
That guy rocked.
Clifford.
Clifford the
Yeah.
Big Red Dog, Tom and Jerry,
Right.
Wile E. Coyote.
Rhaegal, the dragon from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Thought about that.
Yeah, why didn't you go with it?
I'm rattled. I stuck with the classics. I don't even know. That's an L.
Rocky the raccoon from Avengers.
I
but
thought
we
about Pikachu.
We haven't seen the Avengers, so that'd be Panda pick.
Yeah, Flipper.
Donkey from Shrek.
Donkey
Donkey,
from
that's a
Shrek,
good one.
great pick.
Memes.
Nemo.
Memes is really good. In
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why we banned him.
Yeah.
The rat Remy, right? From
Ratatouille, yeah.
Yeah, that one's a good one. All the 101 Dalmatians.
Hank, if you had taken Free Willy, I would have gotten so
Oh, I
mad at
would've
you.
got so
You
mad.
fucking hate orcas.
Scrooge McDuck. He rocks.
Yeah, Lolita could have learned a thing or two. Just fucking jump over and free yourself.
Yeah.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah. Pretty sure the end of that one of those movies, he literally just jumps over a seawall, and that's
Yeah, he does.
that's it.
Yeah, it's it. He could have done that the whole
Exactly.
time. Yeah.
I thought I had to text our resident nerds, Clem and Robbie Fox, asking if Baby Yoda was an animal, and they said as much as we're animals, so didn't think we could pick it.
Yeah, I'm glad nobody picked a human and tried to. Billy definitely would have picked a human, been like, well, technically, we're the most dangerous animal.
Max did.
Yeah,
Just
that's true.
around.
I mean, Brian from Family Guy's a human, but whatever.
No,
Wait,
no.
he's-
Wait,
he's
are
a
you being
dog.
serious?
He's not a. What are you
He's
talking
a dog.
about?
In the context of the show, he's just.
He's
He's
not.
a
That's
talking
a
dog.
dog.
That's the whole
You
thing
picked
about
a
his
talking
character.
rabbit. We picked a talking dog.
but the talking rabbit isn't living with humans; it's living with its own kind.
It literally walks around with Elmer Fudd the whole
It
time. Its
fucks-
own kind?
Yes.
Tasmanian Devil's own kind?
No, but like other animals
Elmer Fudd.
so
is
does
the
Bri-
enemy.
Yeah, you're pro segregation.
No, I just don't like the. Like,
I think they should just have
Brian from
separate
Family
but
Guy is a
equal
good pick,
places
but
to
he's
live.
it's written as a person. He talks like a person. He does person things. That's
Kermit the
whole
Frog
thing.
literally lives with other humans. What are you talking about?
He lives in Miss Piggy.
Yeah, but he
He
lives
does
with
not
humans
live with Miss
too.
Piggy. Miss Piggy is simping hard, and he does not want any piece of that.
Doesn't he live with doesn't he talk to humans?
Dude, he lives in the fucking.
He lives in Manhattan.
No. It starts with him like they have to rescue him out of the pond. He starts singing.
He lives on Sesame Street, which is do they have streets in a pond?
Yeah, and he talks to humans. Sesame Street humans are on that show. They talk to all the animals. No different than Brian.
Very different. It's all right.
I mean,
it's a good pick. It was a good pick. I'm not. It's over.
No, you're
I
mad
would
that you
denigrate
didn't
it.
take it. You're mad you didn't take it.
It's a good pick. It was a good pick. You guys had a good draft.
Thank you. So do you.
Thanks.
For any of the 80-year-old.
Yeah, my grandfather will love that.
Joe
one.
Biden's going to love your draft. Wake
AWL.
up for it. Yeah.
What's up, Joe? Let me get that dog you got.
No, Joe's definitely, he's been asleep for a while. He's been asleep before Howie Long even came on.
Probably wakes up at 2 a.m. though. He eats dinner at 10.
Okay. Yeah, imagine he just wakes up, at like 4:30 to take a piss, and he's just sitting at YouTube being like, memes, where the fuck is the show? Where's the show? Where's the show? Okay, good episode. We have Kentucky Sports Radio on Tuesday. We are hosting. We do it once a year.
Very excited.
10 to 12 Eastern time. We say this every year. Please follow it. We love the AWLs, but we want to talk to the Kentucky Sports Radio listeners. That gives us the best sound bites. We're going to play the best of on Wednesday's show with a guest as well. But yeah, please let us talk to the Kentucky Sports Radio listeners.
We're only going to be taking calls from Kentucky area codes. on
R.I.P.
that show.
Harvey. We're definitely going to have to do a Harvey memorial. All right. Let's do numbers.
3.
99.
Evan
38
guessed
for Evan.
38.
10 for Shane.
Memes, you ever gotten this?
I have not. 1.
I'm going to go with 69. 6.
Hank's number.
6 God, Drake.
Did you guess 6?
That was where he won it. Ended the streak.
Oh,
Yeah, 6.
cool.
Half.
I don't remember that. Basically never happened because
Yeah.
that was the old machine.
Black that
Last
out.
one to win there.
Not true. Jake was.
Yep. Congrats, Jake.
Yes, Jake was.
Yeah, I mean, wrong.
What? Do we have the clip of the last lottery ball ever drawn that won? It was Jake.
Officially?
Well, you got it.
Yeah.
Wait, is it on the records, Jake?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Thank you,
It
Jake.
is.
We
Okay.
kept
Counts
all
on
of
the
those
records.
going
Yes.
for those records, but like they only
Yes.
extended it like 8 times because
Yeah.
you got it.
No.
Then I
That
eventually
counts.
got it.
Does it not
It
count?
was official.
Does
That
it count?
counts,
Does
Jake.
your banner fly?
I have it
fly?
written down, but
It's counting.
you got it too that day.
Good job, Hank. You got it too.
I also
that day.
think we may have not reset the machines. When I got it, there might have been like 94
No.
balls.
No.
It was an official. It was official. Okay. See everyone Wednesday.
Love you guys. Animal fact is Airbud was an actor.